and coordinates the initial appointment. Patients are treated right in your office on your schedule. If you're like me and want to make a real difference in someone's life, DLN makes it possible.
Go to willyouseeone.org to learn more. That's willyouseeone.org.
Welcoming you back to appointment day at the Martinez house. Raul Martinez looking stressed about scheduling a colon cancer screening. But he just pledged to get screened.
Stand Up to Cancer and Optum want to help you reduce your risk for cancer. Visit takeahealthystand.org.
I'm attorney Brian Ritchie. Workers' comp can be tricky, but my law firm will be on top of all the complicated paperwork and sneaky deadlines so that all of your I's are dotted and T's are crossed. If you've been hurt on the job, I'm on top of it. Contact us at ritchielaw.com.
WCMC-FM HD1 Holly Springs.
Off the end board, Stankoven setting it out for Blake. Hall with the loose change, and he scores! Taylor Hall gets a bounce at the side of the net. We're tied at 4 in Toronto. The chance Miller hands off Stankoven, scores! Oh, that's a Hall of Fame goal. What a setup all the way across the board. And Logan Stankoven's second point of the game. It's his, as far as big goals go, 5th of the season, but a monster for number 22. It's 5-4.
Hi, everyone. It's the Adam Gold Show. Yeah! Excited for today.
I can tell. Is that Celsius in the cup?
No, it's bad coffee from the thing.
Oh, well, yeah. Sometimes that still
Set it
hits.
over there. It's just warm, and that's sometimes all
Yeah.
you need. It's warm and caffeinated. I'm Adam Gold. That is Victoria. She'll be on screen in a minute.
Yes. Eventually, I'll say enough words, and it'll be like, oh, let's look at her. Oh, there I am.
There we go. We are on YouTube. If you're watching, you can see both of us.
Mm-hmm.
Me and my drab gray plaid flannel.
Mm-hmm.
Victoria in her winter parka.
I know. I have this long vest, which it's deceptive.
Oh, it's a vest?
It's a vest, and it's
Okay.
very deceptive because it has no sleeves. However,
That's a vest.
it's very warm.
We didn't need the no sleeves. Once you said vest,
Yeah.
we pretty much knew.
I know. Well, sometimes, speaking of parkas have sleeves.
Well, yeah,
So-
but I wasn't sure. I didn't realize. I thought it was, never mind. Hi. Again, go to YouTube, search out Adam Gold Show or 99.9 The Fan, and you can watch the show or just get the app, the 99.9 The Fan app, and there we are. You just push a button and watch. Actually, over the weekend, I used the app as I was driving back from Augusta, Georgia, listening to the Hurricanes game on Saturday night. I used the app so I could listen to the game because I couldn't otherwise get it elsewhere. So, boom, there I was, listening to the Hurricanes beat the Sabres on Saturday night as I drove back. And then yesterday we did the game against Toronto. We're going to talk about that in our first segment. But we have a lot to do. Will Brinson's going to join us a shade early today. So stay tuned for that. We're going to talk all about the Panthers and the NFL. We'll sort the Sunday pile, if you will, with Will Brinson. But right now, let's begin.
Let's get it started. Let's get it started.
So I do want to start with the Panthers. And this is why I was so skittish about the Survivor Pool thing. Because if we looked at the whole board, and based on the teams that we had available to us, the whole bag selection.
Yeah, running out of options.
The Panthers were a legit option.
Yeah.
5.5-point favorite at home. We're never going to take a road team, ever. I promise you that. I'll never take a road team. So I figured, home, Panthers, yeah. And then I went, nah, can't trust them. And there you go. You get what we saw yesterday. And as I'm watching it, and I might have been in a mood based on other football results from the day. Thank you for not trying, Liverpool.
I was going to say, is this football with the feet?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was not happy about that at all. Very disappointed in the lack of response. Anyway, so I could have been in a mood. But I thought of you because I know you're a Panthers fan, and I'm watching this going, what are you people doing?
Disgusting.
So if you followed my Twitter on Sunday, The way I processed the game was this. This was a team that really bought into win probability, playoff probability. And they probably had the athletic processor that we played with over the last week. Mm-hmm. Oh, look, win this game, and the probability goes to this.
Right.
And then you go and you win in Atlanta, and oh my gosh,
we're locked
43% win playoff probability.
Yeah.
And I'm sure Dave Canales was probably, doing those calculations, I don't know, on his smartphone.
Mm-hmm.
All forgetting that you're not that good.
No.
So when you're presented with these opportunities, you got to take them seriously, and it's clear that they didn't. Ike Ekwonu, after the game, said that our preparation was not good.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Yep.
After the game, our preparation was not good. And he said you can recover you can always have a good practice next time. Right? He said, legitimately intelligent words coming from Ike Ekwonu.
Yeah.
And we knew him to be a very smart human.
Yeah.
Right? He's not a great left tackle. He's a good left tackle. But he is a really smart human being. And what he said after the game was that you can't get those days back.
Mm-hmm.
And they are in a position where they need all of the days to build the habits. So when you have 2 poor practices in a week leading up to a game, you should win. You can't get those days back.
No.
And the lack of preparation shows up. At the risk of pissing off the Bryce Young sucks lobby, he wasn't good. Nobody is trying to tell you that he was good.
Yeah.
He was better than you think. Remember week 1 when everybody was gaga over Teteroa McMillan? Mm-hmm. And I'm not here to tell you anything other than the dude's going to be a great player. Right? He is going to be a great player. He's not a great player yet, and he was clearly, in spite of what Dave Canales said yesterday, he was clearly not 100%. But he was good enough to get on the field. Right? He didn't have the same explosion. He wasn't featured the same way. But like McMillan in week 1 should have done better on that post route. That 4th and 3 pass down the left sideline into the end zone, Xavier Legette's got to give himself a better chance to catch that ball.
Yeah, I thought we were past this.
It was almost as though, I'm not really supposed to catch that. I watch way too much NFL football. For what I like, for what I would rather be doing, I watch way too much NFL football. That is not a routine catch, but that catch is made every single game by somebody. Apparently not anybody who plays for the Panthers.
Mm-hmm.
That throw was good enough to be caught. And honestly, when you watch the replay, Legette has no chance to catch it. And that's disturbing. Set that aside. What kind of play call is that on 4th and 3 when you're down by 3 and all you really needed was a first down?
Play calling was atrocious.
You want to run that play on 3rd down, I'm okay with it. Right? You want to run that play on 3rd down, I'm good. On 3rd and short, they ran it, which was unsuccessful pretty much all game. Was Dave Canales watching the game?
I don't think so.
Was he watching Teletubbies?
Yeah.
What was going on?
Was Liverpool going on at the same time? Maybe he was watching
bring that up. Just because the Panthers lost, we don't have to. Maybe 3-0. Just no.
Oh no.
No response at all. Where was the halftime adjustment? Where was the realization that the Saints were taking Rico Dowdle away, and you had to come up with something? Steve Logan, our friend, likes to say, a good defense will take something away. They'll make you beat them left-handed.
Mm-hmm.
Well, apparently, the Panthers had no left hand.
No.
They did not change anything at any point. I want to move away from this real quick. What was Bryce Young great at last year? Last year, like when he finally started playing, and actually they allowed him to play quarterback, not just take snaps. He was really good in the fourth quarter in come-from-behind situations. Why? Because they had to go fast.
Mm-hmm.
They had to play with tempo, right? No huddle. Get to the line. Let's go. A little bit of organized chaos. He was good at that. Nothing.
Yeah.
Zero. They did not alter their game plan. It was like, hey, this worked against Green Bay. Let's just do the same thing against the Saints.
Why not?
What an embarrassment.
It was awful.
Total embarrassment. All right. I want you to hear two things, by the way. If they were better offensively, they could have overcome the worst performance of J.C. Horn's career.
I know.
I love J.C. Horn. I'm way more on him now than I was way back when because we hadn't seen him play.
Yeah.
Right? But J.C. Horn is great.
Yeah. He's human. He has bad days. And that was yesterday.
Yesterday was that day. Dave Canales was asked about the locker room after the loss.
Yeah, just, frustration, because we didn't play our version of football. That was not us. We can't have that. We can't give up big plays and we can't turn the ball over. Offense has to be more opportunistic and take advantage of some of the situations where the defense made some adversity stops for us and got us the ball back over and over in the second half, and we didn't come away with anything off of it.
All right, real quick. We gave up big plays and we turned the ball over. Isn't that Panthers football?
It has been.
So never mind. I heard that and went, wait a second, that kind of is your game. The other thing here was it comes to the passing game, right? So this is Canales who was asked about the passing game, and then in a follow-up question specifically about Bryce Young.
I think just generally it's our group making sure that we are advancing our pass game so that we can be a balanced offense and making sure that we know, yes, we can run the football, but there are going to be days like this where a team is really stout and they play us well. We have to be able to adjust and go to that next phase of our game and make that come alive.
Following up on that, what are your thoughts on how Bryce is throwing the ball?
I think he's throwing the ball great. I think he'll have some plays that he'll tell you that he would like to have back. But in general, this is not about Bryce. This is about me. This is about our group. This is about us taking the steps so we can be a balanced offense.
Yeah.
All right.
Except when he gets picked because the Saints read him like a book.
Yeah, no, he's not throwing the ball great. He can throw the ball great.
Right.
I thought it was a great throw to Leggett on the left side. It should have been a touchdown, or at least certainly a better attempt at a touchdown. But he threw too many bad passes, threw too many balls behind receivers. I don't know how you don't see the safety there on the interception, right? And earlier in the game, when I said the Panthers have had 4 drives, they have a fortuitous touchdown, and then 4 nothings, and we're like, what do you mean fortuitous? They scored a touchdown. No, man, they continued the drive because after he threw an interception, he had already released the pass and it impacted nothing. He was hit in the head. Mm-hmm. So roughing the passer took away an interception. That was a terrible throw, too. I like Bryce. I think Bryce one day will be a really good quarterback. It ain't now, obviously, because I think he is being horribly coached. Mm-hmm. And I know Dave Canales somehow gets credit for Geno Smith and Baker Mayfield. And I'm sure he's a wonderfully nice guy and a very good coach. Nobody's saying he's not. But Geno Smith and Baker Mayfield get the most credit for Geno Smith and Baker Mayfield. Mm-hmm. A, veterans who have been around and seen it. And B, it ain't really...
No. Their talent's coming from them, not Canales.
There's Andy Reid level coaching, yes. And then there's, he's a good coach.
Yeah.
And that's what Dave Canales is. He's a good coach. Maybe he should be the Panthers quarterback's coach. Maybe we'd see a better Bryce if Dave Canales was just the Panthers quarterback's coach. But he ain't all that. All right, let me get to the Carolina Hurricanes. Before we break, Will Brinson going to join us just a couple of minutes early today. I thought that it might have been the best Hurricanes game we have seen this year, the 5-4 win in Toronto. Let me phrase it a little bit differently. It was the most Hurricanes-y game we had seen this season against a top-quality opponent on the road. Like, they had played really well in other games, but when you play really well against the Sharks, it doesn't carry the same weight as this one did. But Carolina was significantly better than Toronto, pretty much from start to finish. And they had to be, because the goaltending wasn't good. Brandon Bussey got the start, and it was a tough first period. Not just for him. There were defensive breakdowns that led to 3 of the 4 Toronto goals. Right? Staalline was victimized by a great stretch pass banked off the wall to Matthew Nyes, who, by the way, on the Stormwatch or the Aftermath, I kept calling him Michael Nyes. I don't know why. I don't, but I did. So
close.
Yeah, I was close. I got the M right.
Yeah.
Anyway, so the Staalline got victimized on that play. Then there were a number of people victimized on the John Tavares goal that tied the game at 2. But whatever. Second and third periods, Carolina owned Toronto. And yet, it was 4-2 Maple Leafs. It was 4-2 until if you watched just the second period, you thought, well, clearly Carolina's never going to score a goal because they had 4 breakaways and hit 3 posts in the first 10 minutes of the second period and got no goals. It's not even possible.
Yeah.
And then Sean Walker, with 3 minutes left in the period, sneaks one in from the point through. How did that go? And none of these other went. Anyway, it's 4-3 entering the third. And if you remember the way the Hurricanes played in front of David Ayres, what is that now? 6 years ago.
Yeah.
If you remember the way they played in front of Ayres, that's in many ways the way they played in front of Brandon Bussey in the third period. Carolina was amazing in the third. It was inevitable that they would get enough goals. Of course, they only got 1 more than Toronto, but they absolutely dominated.
Looking at that score while the football game, the Pittsburgh game was going on, the scores were almost identical.
Oh, that's right.
It was 5-3 for the longest time. And I'm like, am I watching the Canes game or a football game?
It was a baseball score. It was 1 point. It's 3-2. I'm like, top of the third, it's 3-2 in favor of the Pirates leading the Los Angeles Angels of Anaheim.
Crazy.
All right, let's Rod Brindamore on the fact that the opportunities all game long were there.
I think we knew we were playing pretty well. We just, we were getting opportunities. I think second period we had a few breakaways off the post. It was right there. And then we did have a couple mistakes, where we left their better players alone, which can't do. And then there were little tap-ins. But aside from that, I thought, we played a really solid game.
Yeah, they were awesome. Again, very Canesy. And that's what we're looking for. All right, we're going to break here. We haven't even talked about the ACC hitting themselves in the face with a hammer this weekend in football. Well done, fellas. Well done. We're going to talk to Brett Friedlander later. But coming up next, Will Brinson, senior NFL writer, CBSSports.com. We will sort the Sunday pile next.
Because your fantasy football team needs all the help it can get, the Adam Gold Show on the North Carolina Sports Network.
We've got NFL tonight on 99.9 The Fan. Presented by Wake Med.
Showtime, prime time.
Your primetime matchup is an NFC battle.
Hot dog, man.
It's Philadelphia and Green Bay.
Dominate on 3, 1, 2, 3, dominate.
Pregame starts at 7.
Here we go.
Kickoff at 8:15.
Put up or shut up time.
On the Triangle's home for the NFL, 99.9 The Fan.
Monday night, you gotta feel it.
Hey, it's Adam Gold from my friends at FanDuel, America's #1 sports book, Monday Night Football. And what a tasty matchup. We've got the Eagles in Green Bay to take on the Packers, who only beat the good teams. And the Eagles are a good team. This just in. And tonight, FanDuel giving all customers a 30% profit boost token, so this should be your go-to. Josh Jacobs, anytime touchdown scorer, -150, 30% boost at that, takes us almost to even money, makes it a little bit more valuable. FanDuel.com/AdamGold. FanDuel.com/AdamGold should be a great one. Get in on the action with the official sports betting partner of the NFL. 21 and over and present in North Carolina. Opt-in required. Bonuses issued as non-withdrawable profit boost tokens. Restrictions apply, including any token expiration and maximum wager amount. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. Gambling problem? Call 877-718-5543 or visit morethanagame.nc.gov.
Holiday scratch-offs, what a gift it. Let some dream just for a bit. Ski trip, cruise ship, sports car, pristine yard, courtside seats, fancy meats, holiday scratch-offs can't be beat.
Give the gift of what if from the North Carolina Education Lottery. Must be 18 to play. Approximate overall odds of winning range from 1 in 3.19 to 9.95. Problem gambling helpline 877-718-5543.
Hi, I'm Kylie.
I'm John.
And I'm Garrison. And a little thing we love about the 30-count Chick-fil-A nuggets
is sharing it in the car during the holidays.
I do love that. We will pack the car with gifts. And of course, we go and pick up our family's favorite nuggets.
Every nugget is tasty times quadrillion.
And we get all the sides.
Yeah, the ooey gooey mac and cheese is a big hit.
Everyone from 1 to 116 would love Chick-fil-A's chicken nuggets.
Share the nuggets, share the joy. Order the 30-count Chick-fil-A nuggets on the Chick-fil-A app. Real guests paid for their testimonials.
What if you could pull up to $500,000 in cash out of your home and drop your mortgage rate down to 4.99% APR? Hey, it's Dennis Cox. Right now at Loan Pronto, they've got the lowest rates in 3 years. With Loan Pronto's Rapid Equity Loan, you can get your cash in as little as 3 days. Pay off all those high-interest credit cards and even skip your next 2 house payments. One client just got $300,000 approved in under 24 hours, paid off their debt, paid off 2 car loans, and saved $2,100 a month. One call, life changed. There's no wait, no hard credit pull up front. You probably won't need an appraisal. Just fast, easy cash from your home's equity. Rates are at a 3-year low. Act now. Call 919-381-1760 or visit loanpronto.com for your free instant home appraisal. See how much cash you can get today. Loan Pronto, A+ rated with the BBB and nearly 2,500 5-star Google reviews. Call 919-381-1760 and see how much cash you can get today. Loanpronto.com. Equal housing lender, NMLS 166171 on approved credit. Visit NMLSconsumeraccess.org.
Okay, I have to tell you, I was just looking on eBay where I go for all kinds of things I love, and there it was.
That hologram trading card. One of the rarest, the last one I needed for my set. Shiny like the
designer handbag of my dreams. One of a kind. eBay had it, and now everyone's asking, ooh, where'd you get your
windshield wipers? eBay has all the parts that fit my car. No more annoying. Just beautiful.
Millions of finds, each with a story. eBay. Things people love.
This is Adam Gold.
80-second mark, I scream in the booth. I screamed in the booth. Why the heck is he still on the ice?
Did you say it finish?
I should have.
Yes.
No, he wouldn't. He curses in English.
He does.
All right, 2 seconds later, he scored.
Yes.
And I went, oh, that's why. That's what.
The Adam Gold Show.
Oh, man, let's dig into it. The Carolina Panthers did the very Carolina Panther thing, and they proved, as we like to say, Will Brinson, senior NFL writer, CBSSports.com, just not restaurant quality. There's no other way to put it. They showed themselves to be not even really mediocre in their approach to the way they played the Saints. I've already been through it extensively, so let me just ask your thoughts on what we saw from the Carolina Panthers, especially offensively. Really hard to complain about the defense other than J.C. Horn falling down twice at bad times. But your thoughts on that?
Yeah, I mean, I think I said last week, didn't I, that the Saints might be trouble just because they're going to throw a bunch of junk offense. And,
yeah,
they didn't totally do that. I mean, we got 7 Taysom Hill carries. A pass.
Those were largely ineffective.
Yeah, I mean, that junk offense didn't work. What did work was Tyler Shuck, like the 33-year-old, 15-year college quarterback steps in and plays pretty well against Carolina's defense.
Yeah,
the offense for Carolina. You're at home. You're 5-4. You've got a chance to at least put yourself into the actual playoff discussion.
Yeah, even if you're not good, right? Then they're not good. Even if they're not good, you had a chance to fake it for one more week.
Right. At least keep the John Daly, Tiger Woods, Kansas City Chief memes alive for one more week, right? I mean, like, and now it's pretty hard to find a path. You know, I mean, I think you can make the case. You know, Carolina's still 5-5. They're just, they're not
right.
They're not dead in the division. And I guess you could make the argument that beating the Packers and losing to the Saints is sort of a washout, but that win over the Packers, I think even, it's the opposite. It really emphasized the need to beat the Saints because, as we pointed out, you had the 49ers on the road left on your schedule. You have the Rams at home left on your schedule, and the Rams look like one of the 3 best teams of football. You have the Seahawks left on your schedule at home, and the Seahawks look like one of the 3 best teams in football. You got to go to New Orleans as well after your Week 14 bye. You have the Falcons this week, and it's on the road. They're going to want some revenge. I think they've been an up-and-down team. You don't know what's going to happen. And then the Bucs twice. So, like, you still control your own destiny to a degree in the division because you have Tampa. But what you wanted to be was in a position where if you lost to Tampa or got swept by Tampa or got swept by those NFC West teams, like, you weren't totally dead. And now if that happens, if the Panthers are overpowered by teams that are better than them, then Carolina just doesn't have a shot. They're going to finish in the middle of the pack and get an okay draft pick and not really have ever scared the playoffs. So it's kind of worst case, honestly. I mean, yeah, everybody will probably keep their jobs, but like I don't know. It's like worst case scenario, I think, in the NFL to be a team that's not good enough to even have a chance at the playoffs, but not bad enough to chase that number 1 pick.
Will Brinson, senior NFL writer, CBSSports.com. He sorts the Sunday pile. It's funny. For years, I was labeled as the guy who never would fire a coach. Like Herb Sendek's good coach, but whatever. I'm not going to get into I'm not going to relitigate all of those things. There are probably times I was wrong. But Dave Canales does nothing for me. Nothing at all for me. And like, there are times where, like, I praised him. I thought last week the way they approached the Packers game was brilliant. Exactly the way you should approach the game. We're gonna suck the fun out of the sport. We're going to slow it down because we're not as good as you. So we are going to limit possessions, try to frustrate you, and it worked. The Packers played an immature game, and the Panthers took advantage of it and put themselves in a position with these 2 weeks back-to-back. Saints at home, Falcons on the road, who are a mess and could lose to anybody, where you could win these 2 games and suddenly, out of nowhere, be 7-4 and be staring at, Mike, we might be able to do this. But they took the exact same approach. Like, why are they going slow against a team that they are maybe not significantly better in personnel because the Panthers don't have great personnel, but you're certainly not worse than the Saints. So why were you approaching the game exactly the same way? When your offense is stagnant after the first drive, do we not pick up the pace? Are we allergic to tempo, to no huddle? What was Bryce Young good at last year? He was good at the 2-minute drill, especially in the fourth quarter. Did we even attempt that? It is the worst game planning. I credit Dave Canales for basically calling himself out on it after the game because he did. Like, we have to have a better option. They had no options. Ike Ekwonu said the preparation for this week wasn't good. That's damning. That's damning to this coaching staff.
Well, and I think, too, you talk about the juxtaposition of the Packers game and the Saints game. If you're a 13.5-point underdog on the road against what is allegedly a good football team, you want to drag it down into the muck and to minimize their possessions, to make them be perfect, to steal some scores. When you're a 5.5-point home favorite, you have to realize that the other team wants to do that to you.
Yeah.
Like, you are on the other side of the coin. So you cannot play the same game. And I think, we saw this with the job that Baker Mayfield's success in Tampa is what got Dave Canales hired as Panthers head coach. And it's what got Liam Cohen hired as Jaguars head coach. And, maybe we should start thinking that it's Baker Mayfield and not those coaches, because even with Tampa Bay, they would just run Rachaad White into the line a bunch, and then Baker would have to come up with some magic. And, the team was good offensively enough to make the playoffs. Dave Canales gets some credit. He leaves. And really the offense got better after he left. So, like, I think David Tepper, it behooves him to be patient. But I don't think that Dave Canales is the type of coach that's going to operate any sort of offense or clearly any sort of game plan that's going to take you from middling team to next level team. And you're right, the Panthers don't have the personnel to be some dangerous playoff squad. It feels like, 7 and 9 or 7 and 10, 8 and 9, something like that is best case scenario for Carolina.
Yeah. 8 and 9 is probably best case scenario, but as you said, and this is where I was kind of enjoying for Victoria as a Panthers fan. I want her to enjoy, to have some hope when we head, around Thanksgiving, to still be, at least in terms of the math, still in a playoff hunt. To see the Panthers on the board in the hunt is cool for Panthers fans who we speak to. I mean, probably 40% of our audience are Panthers fans. And then, we're scattered all over the other place.
Got a bunch of Commies fans in Eastern North Carolina.
Yeah, we do. We probably have a whole bunch of Cowboys and Steelers fans. We'll get to the Steelers in a second. But it's just so disappointing. Also, for the people who are hating on Bryce, and I'm not even going to pretend that this was a great Bryce Young performance. It was a bad one. But, like I said in the opener, when Tedero and McMillan went up with one hand for a touchdown pass, he could have gotten with 2. Xavier Legette, you got to do better. It was a horrible play call on 4th and 3, because really what they needed at that point, it might have been still 10-7. You just needed a first down. You didn't need a touchdown. You just needed a first down. Now, the pass was good. Could have been caught by Xavier Legette. But he's not strong enough at this point. Whether he wasn't prepared to fight through defense, looked like he might have been held, but still, you got to be stronger. That was a good throw. Bryce doesn't get credit for it from the dopes on Twitter, but I don't really care about them. But that was a good throw. They didn't take advantage of it, but the play call was terrible, and they didn't. I don't think they respected the game the way they needed to.
Exactly, and I think that's part of the problem is they started kind of sniffing their own toots, if you will, right?
Absolutely.
I mean, look at us. We're 5 and 4. We're 5.5 point favorite at home. It's like you can't take any. Again, the Packers took a game lightly against Carolina in Week 9, and it cost them a win against a questionable football team. The Panthers, you cannot, if you're the Carolina Panthers, even contemplate once over the course of a season taking a game lightly. You're not good enough to take a game lightly. Every week needs to be maximum effort, maximum preparation. If you get caught looking ahead as the Carolina Panthers at 5 and 4, that is really damning on the leadership of that football team.
All right, let me move on. Speaking of looking ahead or taking a game lightly, what are the Buffalo Bills doing? You can't. If you purport to be a Super Bowl contender, and I'm not even telling you that they're not a Super Bowl contender, because Josh Allen wearing a helmet and shoulder pads makes you a Super Bowl contender. How do you lose at Atlanta and at Miami? One of those I can almost excuse. You can't. You can't do that twice. They're not going to win the division now. I mean, I guess they could. They still have one game left with the Patriots. They're a game and a half behind. But I don't think they're winning the division now, which means they're on the road for the duration of the playoffs. I just don't understand how you get punked by the Dolphins.
Yeah, I mean, look, I think you can make a case that you come out of the bye, you throttle the Panthers, you don't look ahead to the Chiefs game, you take care of business against Kansas City at home, and then maybe this was a more obvious letdown spot as a huge favorite on the road in the division against a Dolphins team that has lots of talent and has played well at times, but is clearly an inferior squad to Buffalo. But yeah, it's like those losses, your teams are, even good teams are going to have some of those losses over the course of the season. Now, the great teams don't have those slip-ups on the road as heavy favorites. They go into town and they take care of business and they win by you cover, right? You go to, maybe you don't even cover the 9.5, but you go to Miami and you find a way to win. I mean,
you win the game.
They got blown out.
Yeah.
Like this game, they didn't score until the fourth quarter. The Bills against the Dolphins defense. The Dolphins just traded away Jalen Phillips. Like the Dolphins were traitors at the deadline. I mean, they were, you don't score against the Dolphins.
Yeah.
And granted, the Dolphins' run defense has been better in the last couple of weeks, which is kind of surprising. Like we saw them bottle up Bijan Robinson. Now they bottle up James Cook. But there's really no excuse to go down to Miami in the middle of November. It's not like it's, September 1 and it's, or September 7th or whatever. And it's like 160 degrees. You're just not prepared for it. I mean, you got to go down to Miami and at least be competitive. And they really weren't. And to not score for 3 quarters against a Dolphins team that shouldn't be stopping the Bills at really any stretch is extremely damning for them. I think in the AFC this year in particular, you would really like to get that bye. I mean, you're going to have to play. It looks like, we talk about the Ravens. It looks like Lamar's, they're going to get to the playoffs.
Oh, they're going to win that division.
Yeah, they're going to win that division. The Patriots look like a problem. And the Patriots, by the way, 3 games, they had their bye the week before they played the Bills. They have 2 games left with the Jets. They haven't even played the Jets yet. They have the Bengals. They have the Giants. And they have the Dolphins again in Week 18. The Patriots are in a really good position. Even if the Patriots are a little bit of a paper tiger, maybe the coaching is so good with Mike Vrabel. And Drake May is playing at a requisitely high level. He is a justifiable MVP favorite, I think, at this point. I don't think he'll win. I think Mahomes or Matthew Stafford should win. Matthew Stafford should be the favorite. But Drake May deserves the statistical setup he's at.
Just to be mentioned.
They're just not going to – they are too well coached by Mike Vrabel to lose enough games for the Bills to overtake them now, it feels like, at this point.
It does. And when you look at Buffalo's remaining schedule, they got the Buccaneers next. Then they're at the Texans and Steelers. And look, Buffalo's better than both of those teams. But on the road against 2 teams that will be absolutely desperate to win games, the Steelers, if they want to make the playoffs, they're going to have to find some wins somewhere. And we know that team is at least capable. Aaron Rodgers, who we're going to get to in a second, any given Sunday, Aaron Rodgers shows up as 35-year-old Aaron Rodgers and not, 46, 48, I don't know, whatever he is.
Yeah, 40, he's
right?
even 40 or 41.
Right. So,
and then the bigger concern, too, I think, is that, you've now seen some teams absolutely run all over the Bills. I mean, Devon Achane had 174 yards in those 2 breakaways. I get that he's a speed demon, and that's sort of part of his game, but he's been bottled up by worse defenses. So, or not worse defenses. It's just I don't know that the Bills are built for this Super Bowl run in the way that they have been in the past, where they can stop you on defense. They look like a bad defensive team, the exception being the Carolina game where they dominated the Panthers coming out of the bye, and then just an all-out A+ effort against the Chiefs. I think the Chiefs' defensive performance by the Bills might be the anomaly.
Well, I agree. The Bills' 2 most impressive games were against the Panthers and the Jets. So, take that for what it's worth. As for the Steelers, by the way, the Chargers were this week's survivor pool. The Hobag pick was Los Angeles at home to the Steelers. I ignored the Panthers over the Saints wisely, yes. The circa $18.7 million survivor pool, more people were on the Panthers than any other team. It was close between them and the Broncos. Bills were 3rd or 4th on the list. They lost probably 35 to 40% of the pool just in those 2
and just
games.
To be clear, it did make some sense to take the Panthers because you have to take risk in these survivors. You have to play a Thanksgiving team. The Panthers are 5.5-point favorites.
You do, right?
If you know they were going to take the game seriously, you wouldn't have played them, right? But it was a tough week, and Denver really should have lost too. It should be down to 10 people.
Absolutely.
In all these survivor pools.
The Broncos won. And let me just real quick throw in I wasn't going to talk about the Broncos. I really want to get to the Steelers. We only have a minute and a half left. At some point, we're going to wake up and we're going to realize the Broncos can't play offense, and you can't win if you can't play offense, right?
Yeah, I mean, Denver, the Raiders played 77 snaps on Sunday in Week 9 on defense. That is an insane amount. They should have been completely gassed going on a short week to Denver, and the Broncos should have been able to do whatever they wanted on offense, and they didn't do anything. Now, I do think with Sean Payton there and having seen Bo Nix play well, they could click at a certain point, but they really feel more like a wild card team that's going to, maybe they steal the division. I don't think it's likely, but maybe. They feel more like a wild card team that's going to be a problem for 1 week and then be sit packing the next week.
That is the way it looks to me. I mean, ultimately it comes down to they would say defense wins championships. No, it doesn't. Offense wins championships. Defense gives you a chance, and the Broncos have a great defense. But ultimately, I mean, they should have lost to the Jets in London. Should have. The Jets screwed that game. I'm still mad that I watched it. And to only beat the Raiders 10-7. I mean, you're not saving offense for anybody. All right, final thing. Are the Steelers cooked?
It might be. I mean, the back end of the schedule is really tough. They're going to get the Ravens completely healthy, right? I mean, or at least, obviously injuries can happen in the next 4 weeks. But, they get the Bengals this week. Still, obviously, no Joe Burrow, but they've lost to this Bengals team, once in the last month. I mean, they could certainly lose again because the defense has shown that it can step up. But again, we talk about aberrations. The Colts game feels like that aberration where the defense stepped up. Bears, pretty frisky team. You get them in 2 weeks. Then you get the Bills at home, at the Ravens. You still have to play at Detroit. You still have to play at Cleveland, which is never an easy win. And then you have Baltimore to close out the season. So they're still in the playoff mix. But, I mean, the Ravens are rightfully massive favorites to win the division, similar to last year where Baltimore struggled early, got the defense sort of figured out. They didn't play great against Minnesota, but they found a way to win.
Right.
And now Baltimore can prep for the stretch run, knowing they get the Steelers twice. You win those 2 games, and the division's basically over.
Yeah, it's amazing. And Mike Tomlin was.
Steelers are almost a mortal lock to finish exactly 9-8. Like exactly 9-8. And Mike Tomlin keeps the streak alive, but they don't look very good. You don't really trust them going into the postseason.
And this is what I don't get. I mean, why? And I'm running way too long here, but why teams are not prepared for when your quarterback, your Hall of Fame quarterback, is done. This is why the Packers are a top-notch organization, because they were prepared. This is why the Steelers, as good an organization as it is, were not prepared for the end of Ben Roethlisberger.
Yep.
And it wasn't like this was just a couple of years ago. What are we talking about now? We're talking about 6 years without Ben, right?
Well, and they tried to do the thing where, just like basically right after, so Joe Flacco left. Joe Flacco got too old, so the Ravens were like, it's time to move on, and drafted Lamar Jackson. And then the Steelers tried to carbon copy that by taking Kenny Pickett in a terrible quarterback draft class, which is just not the move.
Yeah, it's a 6-7 thing, Kenny Pickett and Lamar Jackson. Like, what a disaster. Like, Aaron Rodgers, like every other week, every third week, shows you, or even within games, he has flashes of Aaron Rodgers. But for the most part, he's a 41-year-old guy. He just isn't the same. Why could dopes like me see that and freaking the Steelers can't?
He's not the same. They don't have very good wide receivers and pass catchers. They like to use too many tight ends in the offense and try to run the ball too much. And the defense isn't as good as they want it to be. That's
Arthur Smith
just the bottom line. Either, and you can't ask Aaron Rodgers to win every game for you.
Yeah. And again, the defense isn't what it used to be. Will Brinson, senior NFL writer, CBSSports.com. All right, my friend. Appreciate it. We'll talk again next week.
All right, buddy. Talk to you next week.
All right. When we come back, we will have one-timers next hour. I mentioned this very briefly as we were going to break before we talked to Will. The Atlantic Coast Conference took a hammer and hit themselves in the face with it all weekend. It's clear. I think the ACC is rebelling against itself. Maybe it views itself as a virus on football, and it is simply attacking itself to try to rid itself of the virus. I don't know. It was a bad weekend for the Atlantic Coast Conference. But we'll do that coming up in a little bit. Brett Friedlander will join us next hour. Right now, we will break and come back with one-timers.
Still arguing whether hockey or golf has the tougher dress code? The Adam Gold Show on the North Carolina Sports Network.
Hey, it's Adam Gold from my friends at FanDuel, America's #1 sports book. And here we go, Monday Night Football, Packers, Eagles. It should be a humdinger. And right now, FanDuel is giving all customers a 30% profit boost token for tonight's game. So, FanDuel should be your go-to app for any snap. But really, for Monday Night Football, don't go anywhere else, especially with a profit boost token. FanDuel.com/AGS. FanDuel.com/AGS. Packers, Eagles, Monday Night Football, FanDuel, profit boost token. Do it. 21 and over and present in North Carolina. Opt-in required. Bonuses issued as non-withdrawable profit boost tokens. Restrictions apply, including any token expiration and maximum wager amount. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. Gambling problem? Call 877-718-5543 or visit morethanagame.nc.gov.
North Carolina ranks second in the nation in potential agricultural land lost by the year 2040. The NC Forever Farms program supports the preservation of family farms through permanent agricultural conservation easements and has received a record number of applications for 3 straight years. Landowners interested in preserving their working farm through the Farmland Preservation Division of the North Carolina Department of Agriculture and Consumer Services can learn more by visiting ncadfp.org.
As a school nurse, I feel like we're really that contact for the schools between the Department of Public Health and what goes on in the school system.
The face of the Department of Public Health in our school is our nurse, Nurse Emma. All the communication that she was receiving and direction she was receiving, she made sure to communicate with us and be a wonderful partner with us.
These kids need their routines.
NC Public Health. Everywhere. Every day. Everyone.
You don't need a 4-year degree to have a rewarding career that makes a difference in people's lives every day. As a public power line worker, you'll build and maintain a locally owned and operated electric system to keep the lights on in your community. 4 months in a community college program provides the training you need to begin your career as an apprentice line worker in public power. And being a local government employee in North Carolina comes with excellent benefits. To learn more about line worker and other public power careers, visit electricities.com.
Are you looking for a 2-year hands-on agricultural degree while still gaining the university experience? I'm Lee Ivey, Director of the Agricultural Institute at NC State University. We offer 6 associate's degrees that span the agricultural industry and set our students up to meet their goals. Come live on campus, learn on our farms, and be a part of the NC State community. Learn more about our program online by searching NC State Ag Institute. 2 years, 1 degree, endless possibilities.
The North Carolina Healthcare Association invites you to listen to this month's podcast, Conversations on the State of Healthcare. This month, we dive into a project that's making big waves in Charlotte and beyond. It's called The Pearl, a bold reimagining of how healthcare, education, and innovation come together. My guest, Hillary Crittenden, leads operations for The Pearl and has played an important role in its growth and development.
The Pearl is an innovation district. We brought together medical education, cutting-edge research, and really big and small players in the healthcare space who are advancing science in a really interesting way, all together in one place.
You can learn more and join our latest Conversations on the State of Healthcare wherever you listen to your favorite podcasts. And find out more by visiting nchealthcare.org.
One Adam Gold. One Adam Gold.
Is he married to a person or just himself? Because I feel like that's very Aaron Rodgers-y of him to have the twist in there.
It's a very good question.
So, I don't know. We still don't know if it's a person.
Would he get down on one knee to ask himself over an ayahuasca?
Yes.
The Adam Gold Show.
It's the Adam Gold Show. I am Adam Gold.
We still don't know if it's a person.
No.
You think about it. Has anyone seen this wife of Aaron Rodgers?
Mail order.
Yeah.
Before we do one-timers, do you have a breaking news sounder over there?
We do.
Yeah.
We do, in fact.
There you go. Brian Dable.
Uh-oh.
Give me your key card. I need your playbook. According to Adam Schefter of ESPN, NFL Insider,
Jackson Dart couldn't save his job.
No, it's because Jackson Dart keeps getting concussions.
He does.
For the third straight year, the Giants are 2-8. I'm reading from Schefter's timeline. They've blown 4 double-digit leads in 4 road losses. Really, the one at Denver was the one that you just can't do that because they led by a lot with not a lot of time left. I mean, it was almost mathematically impossible to lose. Congratulations, Giants, you managed to. The prize rookie quarterback has been evaluated for 4 concussions. Just 4.
Wow.
Yeah, and if I'm not mistaken, Daboll pushed him back onto the field in one of them, like before he was evaluated. And, of course, their star wide receiver running backs are out for the year. Malik Neighbors, bad knee injury. Cam Scatabo, just gruesome ankle injury. So they've got issues, obviously. But Brian Daboll could not save his job, even though he got the quarterback he wanted. Now somebody else will have Jackson Dart, assuming, to mold into whatever they feel like Jackson Dart needs to be molded into. Whatever. I mean, I look at Jackson Dart and I see a guy. I see a college quarterback that maybe down the road will be a good NFL quarterback. That's not a knock on Jackson Dart. That is the reality of what college football provides the NFL.
Yeah.
That is just the reality.
He came in looking better than like Anthony Richardson, so there's that.
Whoa, wow.
Sorry, Anthony.
I had forgotten Anthony Richardson, but hey, here's the thing about Anthony Richardson, and I have no idea what's going to happen down the road, whether it's Indianapolis or elsewhere, likely elsewhere. Given time, I think a lot of these guys can play quarterback in the league, given time. But Anthony Richardson being forced onto the field before he could handle being an NFL quarterback, that is an organizational failure.
Big time.
And I'll say the same thing about the Panthers, and we're about to do one-timers. Demanding, just because the guy was drafted 1 overall, demanding that guy step onto the field and be the guy is an organizational failure unless the team around him can support him.
Mm-hmm.
Brock Purdy, the last pick in that draft, 4 years ago? Mr. Irrelevant.
Mm-hmm.
Was able to help the 49ers because the group around him was excellent.
He had weapons. It wasn't just him.
He had everything. They had a running game. They had an offensive line. They had a head coach that knew what he was doing. They had a lot of, and they had a great defense. Bryce Young hasn't had any of this. None of it. And again, I am not apologizing for Bryce Young. I think it's incredibly hard to evaluate these things. But I do know this. 0 quarterbacks come out of college and are ready for the NFL. 0 of them today. Because they're not asked to do anything NFL-y in college. They're just not. They almost have to be torn down and rebuilt. All right, one-timers.
Okay, so kicking things off, we have a few from our YouTube stream.
Sure.
So, from Comebred with Legault likely to be out for a bit.
Yeah.
Who is the next defenseman called up?
Well, they
Ventura?
they brought up Gavin Bayreuther, big guy, but I think they brought him up simply to be the 7th defenseman. If Legault is out for an extended period, and it does, I don't know, then my guess is I don't think it's Fensori. I thought they brought Fensori up specifically for power play purposes, which they don't need right now. So I don't know what it would be. It might be Bayreuther, but I think more than likely they might try Dominic Badinka, something like that. And hopefully it won't be very long before either Chatfield or Gostisbehere come back.
Well, and this one is along the same lines from Matt. Given the extraordinary plague of injuries to our defensive core, it's terrible. Do the Canes start looking for a trade for a defenseman, since it seems that for the moment the goaltending is stable?
Did that person watch last night? The goaltending was terrible last night. They could swing a deal for a fringy NHL defenseman, but I think their trades will be either a substantial trade or a deadline deal simply to add NHL depth. That's where I think, but I don't think you make those trades right now. You make those trades later.
Next up from LZF, do you feel as if Kochetkov has been the best keeper so far?
He's played twice. How do we evaluate that? But he was great in New York against the Rangers for the first 30 minutes. Then he didn't have to do anything. And he was okay against Buffalo from what I saw. I didn't watch 60 minutes of that game, but he was okay for what I saw, but he wasn't great. So it can't evaluate it just yet.
And this might be last up from Clinton. Can we all take a moment to marvel at the consistency and sneaky good year Sean Walker is having? Dude has been a beast and even knocked out Tage Thompson the other day.
Yeah.
Love that guy.
Why is it sneaky good? He's been amazing. There's nothing sneaky about how good Sean Walker's been. I do realize that about 2 weeks ago, some chucklehead wrote, he gets paid to write, and how Walker was struggling. I'm like, what? Is there another Sean Walker?
Delivering more hits than the Canes forecheck.
Shoot, he scores!
The Adam Gold Show on the North Carolina Sports Network.
Listen every afternoon for The Drive with Tim Donnelly.
By this point in the season, the Panthers have proven Plan A works. It's D&D, it's Dowdle, and defense. The next question is, do they have a Plan B? On a day when Rico Dowdle isn't picking up 6 yards a carry, can they still win? And that question falls on the footsteps of Bryce Young. He may have to throw them into a game. Can he?
The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 3 to 6 on 99.9 The Fan.
Get ready, Durham. The CIAA Football Championship is coming to Durham County Memorial Stadium Saturday, November 15th. Don't miss your chance to experience the culture and tradition of HBCU football as the two top teams in the conference battle it out for the title of CIAA Football Champion. Visit DurhamNCSports.com for more information and to secure your tickets today. That's DurhamNCSports.com for CIAA Football Championship tickets.
Hey, it's Amanda here, and I'm back again with my friend Coach Pete. Coach, I read this on the internet. Maxing out your retirement accounts at 35 might not top your list of fun ways to spend money, especially with a long list of things you've had and wanted to buy.
Save a little bit now or save a lot later. The sooner you start, the more you can build up for retirement. But it's never too late. I really think that, yes, the sooner you start, the more compounding you're going to have on your side. And if you put it in the right place, the more growth you'll have. But then when we get towards retirement, 5 years out, we call that the financial red zone. We need to make sure some of our lump sums that we have built up need to be translated to how much lifetime income they could give us. Lifetime income means income forever. It means it takes the worry out of living in retirement. It means you do what you want to do all the way through retirement.
Where I come from, that means your money's making money.
That's right. And then you're in control. So let's put you in control of your retirement. Call right now. No cost or obligation.
919-794-7900. 919-794-7900. Or text Amanda to 600-700.
Amanda Daughtry is a paid spokesperson. Investment advisory services offered by Capital Financial Advisory Group, a North Carolina registered investment advisor.
Hey girl, haven't seen you downtown lately.
Nope, sticking to our go-to places.
You mean like Sharky's?
Well, we love our Sharkies. Best wings and gumbo on the planet. But we never miss the $5 sangrias on Wednesdays at the new Salt and Lime and Mexican pints on Thursdays for $3.
You know my boy loves the House of Hops. No better selection of craft beer in the state. Loves their specials, their food trucks, and you know I love my wine. They have a wonderful selection.
And have I told you about our new takeout spot, Che Empanadas? It's right next to Sharky's. They have 20 different types of authentic Argentinian empanadas, and they are incredible, especially the breakfast ones. You gotta try it.
Sounds perfect. And how awesome is it that they're so close to each other?
Oh, it's perfect, all right.
Give them a try. Che Empanadas, House of Hops, Salt and Lime, and Sharky's. just a hop, skip, and a jump from each other off Raleigh Road, Glenwood, and Grove Barton.
I'm Dr. Miller, a dentist and a volunteer for Dental Lifeline Network. DLN asks dentists to volunteer to see just one patient per year who might not have access to proper oral health care. Join me in making a difference.
Go to willyouseeone.org to learn more.
When you switch to Progressive, you could save bundling your home and auto. Then you could put that money towards some of the surprisingly more expensive things in life.
Attention passengers, we've reached 10,000 feet and internet is now available for purchase.
I just paid hundreds for this flight, and you can't even throw an internet? I'll just take the free pretzels.
Sorry, but I do have snack boxes for sale.
I'm just gonna sleep.
In that case, we are selling pillows and blankets as well.
I'll just breathe. That's free, right?
Life costs a lot, so bundle and you could save with Progressive. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company, affiliates, and other insurers. Not available in all states.
This hour of the Triangle Sports Leader is powered by Ritchie Law Firm, Injury Lawyers. Ritchie Law is on top of it. Go to ritchielaw.com.
That's ritchielaw.com.
Broadcasting live from the Lenovo Studios. WCMC HD1 Holly Springs. 99.9 The Fan. The Triangle Sports Leader.
Really proud of our team. No one thought we could go to a bowl game. These guys fought with resiliency. They kept punching and they found a way to win. That drive at the end of the game, to take it from our 11-yard line all the way down there to kick a field goal. I mean, Robbie Ashford, the toughness that he showed, the playmaking that was there, that's not sexy. It doesn't, get you all these accolades, but that's how you win football games. I thought there was some gutty performances out there by a lot of different people on our football team. Okay, and like I said, they just kept swinging.
It's the Adam Gold Show. I am Adam Gold. Victoria producing the program. Brett Friedlander, ACC reporter emeritus, will join us later this hour. The ACC took a hammer to their face this weekend.
Never ideal.
It's clear that they don't want to be part of the national picture, which is why they did what they did this weekend. We'll get into it a little bit more in a second. Lots to do. I am Adam Gold. This is Victoria. And if you want to watch the show, and by all means you should, you can simply go to YouTube, search Adam Gold Show or 99.9 The Fan. Either way, you'll get to us. Or, as I would suggest, get the handy-dandy 99.9 The Fan app. It's right here in the palm of my hand, which, I don't know, maybe based on glare you could see on this camera. We also have...
Here, I will help you.
There you go.
It's behind you
It's right
now.
behind us right now.
There you go.
Everything you want. You want to know what's on this radio station, get it. Contests, all sorts of stuff. You can find out all about high school football, high school sports in the state, like an in-depth preview of the Wake Prep at Midway 3A boys soccer East quarterfinals tonight.
All about that.
6 o'clock.
Yeah.
It's all there.
Yeah, buddy.
It's all there. Plus, you can watch the show. You can just push the button, and then you're watching us. And isn't that grand? All right. So, Brett Friedlander in about 20 minutes right now. Let's run it back. For those people who listen on Thursdays, we've been playing along with the $18.7 million Circa Sports Survivor Pool.
Yeah. $1,000 spot, right?
$1,000 to buy in, and you could have bought in as many as 10 times. They were under 2,000 entries. They had over 18 million entries. They were down to less than 2,000, of which about 470 had the Panthers this week.
Ooh.
We chose not to go with the Panthers, even though it was a good choice. I'm not in any way criticizing the choice. It was a viable option. We went Chargers because it met all of the criteria of Hobag. All of the five things that I look for, can I check the box? Either something I'm looking for or something I want to avoid. The Panthers checked all but one box. Chargers over the Steelers checked all 5. We went that way. Either way, what we got was very Panthery.
Mm-hmm.
So
I brought back Panthers be Panthering on Twitter.
I saw that. I did see that.
Parentheses, still.
Yeah,
be
still.
Panthering.
So, at the risk of annoying this is Bryce Young's fault. Oh, if the head coach thought he had a quarterback, he'd have called better plays. So, all of those times where they call better plays, did Dave Canales forget that he had an incompetent quarterback? Look, I don't care if you're out on Bryce, that's okay. You have every right to be out on Bryce. He's not consistently good. I get it. We would love every quarterback to look right now like Drake May.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well, there'll be another time to go down that road. Not only did the Panthers screw up royally by trading from 9 to 1 for a hope, because I have no problem with drafting Bryce Young 1. I mean, it ain't like C.J. Stroud's awesome. He's just okay. He's a guy. And maybe he'll work out. I think he will. But I also think that down the road, Bryce Young will too. Anyway, the worst part about giving up everything they gave up to get Bryce Young was that had they just stayed at 9 and built their team, the following year, when you survived another year of Kyle Allen or whoever else was your quarterback, you might have drafted Drake May.
Yep.
From Charlotte.
Who wanted to be here? Yeah. Homegrown.
Anyway, dude is balling.
He
anyway,
is.
let me
Good for him.
just move on.
And he's big. That always helps too, right?
Oh yeah, of course,
He's tall.
It's huge, it's gigantic. It's gigantic. It's funny how they have no problem talking about Kyler Murray as a potential franchise quarterback, and he's like 4'11".
Mm-hmm.
It's like Tattoo playing quarterback. Look, he's not, but it's not about his size. It's about the way he plays. Like Doug Flutie was a great quarterback. He's 5'10". Drew Brees is going into the Hall of Fame.
Yep, also small.
6 foot. I mean, come on. These guys, you can play quarterback and be a small person and be a short person. Baker Mayfield's a great quarterback. He ain't big either. So maybe Bryce won't be good enough. I'm not arguing that he is or will be. I think he will. But I think he will with a different coach, whether it's here or somewhere else. And I really don't care. I don't have any emotional investment in the team. I am looking at this as an objective observer. So I will like to ask this question of Dave Canales. Was there no effort put into the game plan?
None.
Did we just go, all right, the game plan we used against the Packers, every time it says Packers or Green Bay or Micah Thompson, just cross it out and then write Saints or DeMario Davis. Is that what happened? Because it was the same exact game plan. Let's take as much time as possible, slow the game down, and hand the ball to Rico Dowdle all the time. And normally I'm okay with handing the ball to Rico Dowdle. But when the other team says, well, that's all they're going to do.
We know this.
So we're going to put 14 guys at the line of scrimmage and take him away. Now, what's your move?
Yeah. Now you're forced to pass, and then you pass, and you get picked.
Well, but they were also completely vanilla. You know what you do when a team is daring you to run? You make it look like a run and throw it.
Right. Trickery.
They have nothing.
Nothing.
They had nothing. There were no halftime adjustments. They didn't adjust. They didn't go fast. They didn't try to make the Saints react to them. They just played. And again, the reason why the game plan against Green Bay was so brilliant, and I credited Dave Canales with doing a great job that week, was because by slowing the game down and having fewer plays and fewer possessions, both teams had 7 possessions in the game. The Panthers had 4 possessions, I think, in the first quarter.
Yeah.
Right? I think the 4th possession was in the second quarter. But even so, the whole idea of slowing the game down is because you want to frustrate the Packers. You want to limit their offense. By limiting their offense, you keep their points down. And if you can frustrate them, they'll make mistakes. And that's exactly what they did. You do that when you are clearly not the better team. And they had better personnel than the Saints, maybe not by a ton. And even if it was even, I don't understand.
Isn't it ridiculous how we can go from 1 week calling Dave Canales a genius with how, he did his play calling, last-minute field goal to win the game, and then this week it's like, what happened?
Well, there's a difference between he did a great job and Dave Canales is a great coach. There's just a big difference there. And I think he did a great job in Green Bay, and he did a terrible job for this game. Had they lost in Green Bay and beat the Saints, we're in the same position, and that's how the apologists will look at it. Except that you were gifted an opportunity, much like the Panthers were gifted their opportunity to score that first touchdown by the roughing the passer that negated the first Bryce Young interception. Much like they were gifted the opportunity to get the possession back after the blocked field goal. That was the right call, because ultimately, if the field goal is blocked and the ball hits the ground behind the line of scrimmage, then if the Panthers recover it, they would have to get to the line to gain in order to maintain possession of the ball. But because it was blocked and then hit a player, a guy, I think in the helmet, and bounced on the other side of the line of scrimmage, now it's a free ball. And whoever recovers it gets it. And the Panthers recovered it. It was awesome. And then they turned it over immediately on the, I don't even know what Jimmy Horn was doing. Wasn't really prepared to take the handoff. Bryce Young didn't do a good enough job of slapping it into his belly. Either way, what a disaster the whole game was.
Yeah.
I wasted too much time talking about this. Disaster.
Okay. They wasted our time by playing a game yesterday.
Yeah, well. We'll talk more about the Hurricanes in a little bit.
Panthers.
I'm skipping over the Hurricanes. I was going to do the Hurricanes next. I'm sorry. Yes, I just ended for my own brain. I was already done with the Panthers, now I'm skipping the Hurricanes to get to the ACC because it'll lead us into Brett Friedlander coming up in about 10 minutes. So this was the ACC's football weekend in which they apparently decided to hit themselves in the face with a hammer. And you know this, maybe to a fault, I don't play the woe is me game. I will never argue on the conference's behalf or anyone's behalf if they don't deserve it. I will, at times, play devil's advocate and just present the other side. But I am not going to throw my full weight, my full voice behind arguing for something that I believe to be intellectually dishonest. That is the thing about sports that bothers me the most. So last week, there were many ACC reporters, pundits, whatever, crowing about the disrespect because Notre Dame was ahead of Miami in the college football playoff ranking. My feeling was, yeah, I know what happened in week 1, and that matters. But what really matters is the entirety of your season. And I don't know that there's a big gap between Miami and Notre Dame, but I think there's a gap between Miami and Notre Dame, and I think Notre Dame has played better than Miami since that game. Now, what would have been much better would have been had Miami done what they should have done that night, which is bury Notre Dame. And they didn't do that. They played with their food, took their foot off the gas, and all of a sudden, that game was tight at the end, and it should not have been. Miami should have won that game by at least 2 touchdowns, but they didn't. And because that game, and everybody watched it, because that game was close, we went, Miami was at home, and, it's just really slight margin. So, it matters, but in the grand scheme of things, the entirety of your, your schedule and what you did with it, that matters. And Notre Dame's losses were to Miami and Texas A&M on the last play of a game. Other than that, they've taken care of business. So the committee, and don't talk to me about, Miami is not Notre Dame. Miami's like the next best thing to Notre Dame when it comes to a TV property. Obviously, Alabama, Ohio State, those schools are also right there, but Miami is a major national TV draw. Major. So, miss me with all that. But ultimately, when everybody was crowing about this, what did I say? I get it. I have no problem with where Notre Dame is placed and Miami is placed. Oh, by the way, with everything the ACC did this weekend, Miami will naturally rise in the playoff rankings. So that has been accomplished. That's good. It's not going to go high enough. Anyway, here's what the ACC did this weekend. Virginia, otherwise undefeated in ACC play, whose only loss was to NC State, lost at home to Wake Forest. Good job. Nice job, Wahoos. Louisville, who had just one loss this season, lost at home to Cal. Well done. What kind of hammer was that? Was it a tack hammer? Was it a sledgehammer? What are we doing, Louisville? Duke, and we said this was possible, by the way. Duke went on the road and lost to Connecticut. Could have won, but as I said last week, Connecticut's a good team. Duke's non-conference schedule dealt them 3 losses. So here's the ultimate impact. If Duke ends up in the ACC championship game and wins it, they're going to go to the college football playoff with 4 losses. Well done. This is the ACC in a nutshell. By the way, Clemson finally won a home game in conference play. Finally. They beat Florida State. And now both teams are 4-5 overall. Yeah. Clemson beat Florida State. And they're both 4-5. Oh, baby. Hammer to the face. We'll see if Brett Friedlander can talk that up with me. He will join us next.
His Zamboni is bigger than yours. The Adam Gold Show on the North Carolina Sports Network.
Hey, Carolina Panthers fans, it's Dennis Cox from 99.9 The Fan. For all the inside information on your team, join me and my co-host, WRAL TV's Chris Lee, for our podcast, Panthers Playbook, presented by Wake Orthopedics. In every episode, we'll keep you up to date on your Panthers, and we'll do it with access only we can provide. Locker room insight, exclusive interviews, and in-depth looks at every Panthers game. Follow and subscribe to Panthers Playbook wherever you discover your favorite podcasts or watch on YouTube.
Hey, it's Adam Gold from my friends at FanDuel, America's #1 sports book. And we've got Monday Night Football. And every Monday night, FanDuel giving all customers a 30% profit boost token. So Packers, Eagles, Green Bay loses to the bad teams, beats the good teams. The Eagles are a good team. Packers at home, -116 on the money line. Over 45.5. Kind of like it. That's 228. Add 30%. Oh, we are cooking with oil, gas, and gravy. FanDuel.com/Adam Gold. FanDuel.com/Adam Gold. Have fun. 21 and over and present in North Carolina. Opt-in required. Bonuses issued as non-withdrawable profit boost tokens. Restrictions apply, including any token expiration and maximum wager amount. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. Gambling problem? Call 877-718-5543 or visit morethanagame.nc.gov.
Holiday scratch-offs, what a gift it lets them dream just for a bit. Ski trip, cruise ship, sports car, pristine yard. Courtside seats, fancy meets, holiday scratch-offs can't be beat.
Give the gift of what if from the North Carolina Education Lottery. Must be 18 to play. Approximate overall odds of winning range from 1 in 3.19 to 9.95. Problem gambling helpline 877-718-5543.
Every season can be punishing for your roof. Mother Nature is a fierce opponent that doesn't take a break, which is why you need RoofWorks on your building maintenance team. Hi, this is Holly from RoofWorks. We specialize in keeping your commercial roof in great condition no matter what the issue may be. We offer roof inspections, roof repairs, and if needed, a full roof replacement. We help determine if there's a problem with your roof and advise you on the most cost-effective way to handle it. Contact us today at roofworks.com. That's roofwerks.com.
What if you could pull up to $500,000 in cash out of your home and drop your mortgage rate down to 4.99% APR? Hey, it's Dennis Cox. Right now at Loan Pronto, they've got the lowest rates in 3 years. With Loan Pronto's Rapid Equity Loan, you can get your cash in as little as 3 days. Pay off all those high-interest credit cards and even skip your next 2 house payments. One client just got $300,000 approved in under 24 hours, paid off their debt, paid off 2 car loans, and saved $2,100 a month. One call, life changed. There's no wait, no hard credit pull up front. You probably won't need an appraisal. Just fast, easy cash from your home's equity. Rates are at a 3-year low. Act now. Call 919-381-1760 or visit loanpronto.com for your free instant home appraisal. See how much cash you can get today. Loan Pronto, A+ rated with the BBB and nearly 2,500 5-star Google reviews. Call 919-381-1760 and see how much cash you can get today. Loanpronto.com. Equal housing lender, NMLS 166171 on approved credit. Visit NMLSconsumeraccess.org.
With the new IHOP value menu, $6 is all it takes to go to your happy plates, where stacks of pancakes with bacon and eggs are just $6 every day. French toast, sausage, and eggs are, you guessed it, $6. And fluffy omelets come with a side of pancakes and only cost $6. Go to your happy plates every day at IHOP. $7 in some locations. Available every day for a limited time at participating restaurants in the U.S. Hours may vary. No substitutions. Not valid with other discounts or promotions. Prices may vary.
This is Adam Gold.
See Bettman take all that time to walk out, then to see the pick, bro hug no less than 20 guys on his way up there. And then this draft house, they just moved this wall like the Price is Right. I don't know.
It's a showcase showdown back there.
I know.
That would be great. So we should spin a wheel,
yeah,
right? Exactly.
The Adam Gold Show.
It's the Adam Gold Show. I am Adam Gold. Victoria producing the program. I don't think it was too harsh how I described the ACC's football weekend.
Getting hit in the face with a hammer?
Yes. Well, by doing it to themselves.
Yes.
I mean, it would be like if the Big Ten hit the ACC in the face with a hammer, that would be one thing. But this is the Atlantic Coast Conference hitting themselves in the face over and over again with a hammer. My friend Brett Friedlander, ACC reporter emeritus, joins me now on the Adam Gold Show. Is that a fair representation of week 11 in college football?
Yeah, here's the thing. The Coastal Division is gone, but chaos lives on. This is Coastal chaos now on steroids, right? And when you think about it, Virginia, Duke, these are Coastal teams. So this,
Yep.
it's only, right on brand, right?
It is very much on brand. So as I pointed out before, we went into this past week, and I know that we saw the college football playoff rankings, and Virginia was the highest ranked team at 14th, but there were 4 ACC teams between 14 and I think, 18, 14, 15, 17, 18, something like that. And like, I never pay attention to the rankings. I don't care. They're fake. They don't matter. They redo it every week. I believe that they do because honestly, you should. You can't project anything. There's no prediction. They don't predict. They're just saying this is what we have right now. And they add data points as we go along. I still believe
they make up new rules as they go along.
Yeah, they do. But the only rules they have to follow are the ones at the end. Everything else doesn't matter. And they've proven that year over year over year that when they get down to the Final Four, other than the year that they screwed Florida State, I think they have gotten the right 4 teams before we went to 12 last year, and I don't disagree with what they did last year. I disagree with some of the conversations, but I think they have gotten the right 4 teams every year except the last year with Florida State getting completely screwed because they deserved a spot in the playoff regardless of what their team looked like. And last year I really didn't have a problem with the teams that they chose. My only problem was that Miami probably should have been part of the argument at the end, and they weren't because the ACC is disrespected. And that was definitely reflected in the college football playoff rankings last week if it mattered. But I will just ask you this question, Brett. Were they right?
Here's the thing. If what happened in the ACC on Saturday had happened in the SEC, okay, right. Had Mississippi State beaten Georgia and Auburn held on and beat Vanderbilt, we would have seen all over social media how great it is that the SEC is so strong from top to bottom, and how the parity and how the greatness of the SEC. And of course, it would have been reflected in the rankings because Vanderbilt would have moved up 5 spots because it had a good loss, and Georgia would have been in the top 4 because it had a good loss. But the narrative about the ACC is look how crappy it is because the top teams keep getting beat. So, did they get it right? I don't know, because as you just mentioned, everything other than the final rankings are clickbait.
Right. I agree. Now, I don't disagree with anything you just said there about the SEC and the perception, right? But isn't that perception earned both ways? Yeah. So, and I'll use this. Let me just use this as an example. We have Pitt right now that is 7-2.
Mm-hmm.
But their 2 losses, one of them is to Cincinnati, who's very good. Not amazing, but very good. And the other is to West Virginia, who is not very good. They're both Power 4 schools, but West Virginia is not very good. And this brings me to my larger point in that we pat ourselves in the back. I don't. They do down in Charlotte. Pat themselves in the back for playing such a great schedule. And they lose too many of these games. And I just as soon Pitt have played, Indiana University of Pennsylvania, Purdue, West Brom. And
by the way, like the SEC schools do.
Yeah. Or like the Big Ten does. Yeah. Now, Penn State turned out to be trash. Indiana's not. Indiana's non-conference schedule's trash. Terrible. Yeah. Nobody cares. But we pretend that this is good when it's not.
Yeah. Well, you know what? At least in basketball, the ACC seems to have figured out how to win those big games.
Except Boston College, yes.
Except for Boston College. You got to have that one bottom feeder. But, you're right. I mean, playing a great schedule is great, but you got to win some of those.
Got to win enough of them.
By the way, you were talking about the absolute chaos that could occur if Duke wins the ACC championship.
8-4 right now.
You know
that
there is a realistic mathematical chance that NC State could still end up in the ACC championship game.
Are you joking?
If Pitt goes 7-1 in the league, and then everybody else below them ties at 5-3, which NC State could still do.
Yeah.
Then NC State would win tiebreakers and go to Charlotte.
I'm here for that.
Oh, absolutely. Because you know what? If you're going to go up in flames in style, right?
I would be absolutely here for that. I think the most, I don't even know if this is the most likely scenario, but I brought that up for Duke because Virginia here this week.
Mm-hmm.
Then it's North Carolina at Kenan Stadium. I think Duke's better than North Carolina. I do want to talk about the Tar Heels for a second.
Duke is better than North Carolina when Duke decides not to beat itself.
Yeah, I mean,
because they've done it 3 times this year.
Yeah, they have certainly been their own worst enemy. But you're going to make mistakes in a football game. They just haven't been able to outscore their mistakes all the time. But ultimately, they give up a lot of points, and defense should be. Their defense should be better than it is. They give up too many points. But look, do I think they're going to win all 3 of these games? I think individually I would say they're going to win each of these 3 games. But we haven't seen Duke being consistent in 3 losable games like this. But if they win out, we're going to be talking about Georgia Tech and Duke for the second time this year in Charlotte in the ACC championship game. And, I mean,
in front of hundreds.
That is true. That is true. There will be dozens
They
of
can tarp
people.
off the upper deck. It'll look okay.
There'll be dozens of people at Bank of America. But a 4-loss ACC team in the playoff. I mean, you can't recover from that.
No, but it might. You were talking about Miami earlier. That might be the best scenario there is for the ACC getting a second team in, because if Miami wins out and ends up 10-2, they could actually sneak in as that last team.
Oh, I think Miami is in I think they'll be in the playoff at
right?
10-2.
And they won't have to worry about losing the championship game, which Mario would definitely do. But right, so I mean that would actually be the best case scenario almost for the ACC, I think.
Yeah, look, if the Hurricanes end up 10-2, they'll have enough good wins, enough wins against the playoffs ranking that I think they'll be in. I think they'll be in the playoff. They might be, the 11 seed or something like that, but I think they'll be in.
Doesn't matter. It gives Jim Phillips something to crow about. Hey, we got 2.
Yeah, and you're also at the mercy. I know, we kind of complain about the fact that the SEC gets the benefit of the doubt, and it's talked about differently. I mean, a lot of that is earned, and I mean, it's hard to deny across the board the SEC's dominance in the sport. I've been more bullish on criticizing the Big Ten for the absolutely undeserved top to bottom benefit of the doubt that they shouldn't get. Iowa gave Oregon a hard time, but I'm not sure Oregon's great. Right? They did win at Penn State, which at the time seemed like a good deal, and then they got
overtime.
It did take overtime, but it's like they had to drive just to get to overtime. They had to come back to get to overtime. But that seemed better at the time, and now Penn State has gone the other way. They don't know how to win. And but I'm not sure Oregon's good. I mean, Indiana taught them a lesson, right? And
although, I mean, listen, hey, you know what? Speaking of Indiana, if I'm Jim Phillips, I'm pounding my chest saying, hey, look, Fernando Mendoza is going to win the Heisman Trophy, and Indiana's going to be in the playoff. He's one of our guys. We trained him at Cal.
Yeah, Cal. He's one of our guys. I love that. I'm just having a hard time. Colin Morikawa, ACC legend. When can we get him at an ACC football media day or something like that? Look, the SEC has earned that reputation, so I'm good with it. What do you make of this? Because now the SEC is screaming loud again about 16-team playoff. Only your conference champion is automatically qualified. I know they even said we'd be good with 16 with no AQs, which, frankly, I would also be in favor of. But just your conference champion, 4 + 1 from the group of 5, which would give you 11 at-large bids. Big Ten doesn't want it because the Big Ten knows what's up. But to me, as much as I know why the SEC is doing it, I actually think that's the best way to go if you're going to go to 16.
I agree, but I don't think that going to 16 is the answer, because if you look around, there may be 6 or 7 or maybe 8 teams right now that belong in the playoff, and 14, 12, whatever it is too many.
Yes.
Right? I mean, really, how many good teams are there really?
Great teams. I know what you're talking about, but we have this with basketball
if
too.
You're going to go 16. 1 per conference, and then everybody else you take the most deserving. I think that's the way to go.
Yeah.
No automatic bids beyond that.
The Big Ten doesn't want it because they know that they can't compare other than, on the 15th and first and the 15th of every month. They can't compare with the SEC. They get it.
Yep.
Their football at the very top with Ohio State, and all due respect, I'm not going to put Indiana in that mix, but whether it's Ohio State, Michigan, although, maybe it was just the Jim Harbaugh deal, Maybe they're going to kind of take a step back. They certainly have last couple of years. Oregon, we'll see. I mean, I think Oregon's kind of like nouveau riche college football deal. We'll see if Oregon maintains where they are. Maybe Southern Cal will come back. But at the very top, yeah, the Big Ten's got major football powers. But once you get past, they're just big schools, and that's all they are.
With a great TV contract that pumps them up like crazy. So, and that's all it takes. Hey, listen, if I'm the ACC, I'm going all in for that because it guarantees you that one. And hey, if somebody else gets in there, great. And then it's basketball season. So, hey, one other thing too.
Sure.
Indiana's coach, Kurt Cignetti, a few years ago was coaching at Elon.
I know.
Anybody in the ACC could have hired him and potentially done what is happening in Indiana right now. And so when you blame what's going on at the ACC, a lot of it has to do with hires and,
to me, it's all about that,
right?
Yeah, like I know people will talk about money and support. I get it.
Press conference, great, but win games.
Yeah, I do think that we have hired poorly as a league in basketball too, right? I think we have, in general, hired poorly. And it has cost us. Like, I'll just, in basketball, look at, Louisville going to Kenny Payne, right? How much,
Autry.
right? How much did that set back Louisville? We'll say hopefully Syracuse will be halfway decent this year. But yeah, how much did Adrian Autry set back Syracuse? And maybe he'll be a good coach down the road. Maybe it just took him time to figure out how to recruit. And then Syracuse you have to retain as well. And maybe Jay Lucas will kill it at Miami, and I hope he does. But no offense to Georgia Tech. Like, maybe they should have...
a string of misses, haven't they? I mean, just going all the way back to Paul Hewitt.
Can we bring Paul Hewitt back? He coached the team in the Final Four.
Here's the thing, though. The best recent hire in ACC football was basically accidental. If they wait till the end of the season to fire Jeff Collins at Georgia Tech, Brent Key never gets that job. They do a full search and they hire some name guy. Instead, they hired the one guy who I think in this country may be the best fit for the job that he's got. It's crazy.
I thought you were going to say Bill Belichick. So let's close on this.
And by the way, they've won 2 in a row. Yeah. But they've beaten 2 very bad football teams, and they've struggled to do it.
But
so
they're a bad football team.
Let's not get too carried away with what's going on in Chapel Hill.
But they're a bad football team. The fact that they won these games also matters. Yeah. So are they improving? Because at least on the defensive side of the ball, I think they are. And I think if they keep games close, I give Bill an edge in the margins of the game, which is why I thought they would do a little bit better than their talent level all year. I just didn't realize their talent level was not very good.
Yeah, this kind of goes back to the conversation Victoria and I had while we were off the air while I was waiting to come on, in that they've got a quarterback who isn't going to win them games. Okay, Bryce Young, Gio Lopez, same deal. Ooh. They've got some pieces. They've got some nice running backs. They got a couple of good receivers. And they got a quarterback who can't deliver the ball and doesn't make good decisions. And so, yeah, you keep it close. And if he doesn't lose the game for you, you can win those. But, it's if they get into a game, Duke, okay? Duke's going to score points against them. Okay? Their defense is their defense is improved. Duke is going to score points. Does Carolina have enough offensively to outscore Duke? I don't think so. So
I agree.
There you go.
I agree. Duke would have to derp it up. Bryce Young catching strays here in our conversation about ACC football. All right, real quick, because I know you pay attention to the other sports as well. Caleb Wilson looks like as advertised.
He does. And you know what's really the thing about him that I love is that not only is he a 5-star talent, but when your best player is also your hardest working player and looks like he cares the most, that's a combination you just can't teach. And it's something that Carolina hasn't had in a long time. And yes, I think that he is the real deal. And I think he's going to take him a long way. And I actually think that the injury to Seth Trimble might end up being the best thing that happens to Carolina because it happened so early. Yeah. They already have a signature win on their resume against Kansas. That's a quad 1 win. It's going to stay a quad 1 win. But with Trimble being out now for 5 to 6 weeks. This is going to give Derek Dixon, this is going to give Luka a lot more opportunities to get some run and be ready, and they're going to be deeper. They're going to have more options, and they're going to be better when Trimble comes back. And I don't think that the drop-off is going to be that significant because their front court is so good, and their point guard seems to be a guy who really fits what they have very well.
All right, I'm going to take a I'm from Missouri type of an attitude with Carolina at point guard because I want to see more. I'm not like Kansas, I thought Kansas left a little bit to be desired. Maybe that was Carolina. But I am 100% on board. I think Caleb Wilson is a star. Vasar is a really good player and big. Stevenson, they've got things. And Luka, and I appreciate you just saying Luka because I'm just going to say Luka.
I can't pronounce it either.
I'll eventually get it. It took me about 4 years to get Antetokounmpo and Uiagalelei, but I'll get Luka's last name. I would say
the great thing
before
about
the
being
end
in
of
the
the month.
newspaper business or the print media is that all you have to do is spell it correctly.
Brett Friedlander, ACC Emeritus Superstar. Sir, I appreciate your time, man. I'll talk to you soon.
Always a pleasure, Adam. Always enjoy it.
I love talking to Brett. That's great. All right. Yeah, really quick about Carolina. We're going to talk next hour with Brian Geisinger about Carolina's win and their team, State's win again and their team. Hey, Will Wade picked up another technical foul. 2 for 2. It's a good thing we don't have yellow card accumulation in ACC basketball.
Right.
Duke looked good, but again, Duke played Western Carolina over the weekend. Both the Boozer brothers just absolutely crushed it. And Duke's going to play at Army tomorrow on Veterans Day. Very cool. But it is more fun when we get a chance to see these guys, these teams, play legitimate competition. We're still a couple of games away from that for NC State, which I'm not knocking. So it's hard to get a real gauge when you're playing against teams that you should beat badly. I thought it was interesting that the Wolfpack played, had his 20-some-odd point win without shooting the ball well from three-point range. They were 19 of 40 in the win over Central. They were just 10 of 30 in the win over UAB. And based on what Brett and I were talking about, before I go and anoint Carolina one of those teams, I need to see their point guards. I need their guard position, not just their point guard. I need to see their guard position look like it's, at that level. I'm not saying it isn't at all, but I haven't seen it against what I believe to be really, top-level guard play. I don't think that's Kansas's strength. I'm not entirely sure that this is a great Kansas team. And maybe it will be a quad one win all season long. It's just, in order for it to be that, it has to be, Kansas must be in the top 30 because it was on Carolina's home floor. And that's probably a safe assumption anyway. But you still got to win more than one. How many did Carolina have last year? 2? 2 and 9? Something like that. So, anyway, but I'm not trying to downplay what Carolina did. They were down 10 in the first half and then blew the Jayhawks' doors off in the second half. But Caleb Wilson is so much fun. So much fun. All right, we'll take a break. We'll come back. We have to stretch. We will place bets. All of that next.
Because your fantasy football team needs all the help it can get, the Adam Gold Show on the North Carolina Sports Network.
Hey, it's Adam Gold from my friends at FanDuel, America's #1 sports book. And here we go, Monday Night Football. Packers, Eagles, it should be a humdinger. And right now, FanDuel is giving all customers a 30% profit boost token for tonight's game. So, FanDuel should be your go-to app for any snap. But really, for Monday Night Football, don't go anywhere else, especially with a profit boost token. FanDuel.com/AGS. FanDuel.com/AGS. Packers, Eagles, Monday Night Football, FanDuel, profit boost token. Do it. 21 and over and present in North Carolina. Opt-in required. Bonuses issued as non-withdrawable profit boost tokens. Restrictions apply, including any token expiration and maximum wager amount. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. Gambling problem? Call 877-718-5543 or visit morethanagame.nc.gov.
North Carolina ranks second in the nation in potential agricultural land lost by the year 2040. The NC Forever Farms program supports the preservation of family farms through permanent agricultural conservation easements and has received a record number of applications for 3 straight years. Landowners interested in preserving their working farm through the Farmland Preservation Division of the North Carolina Department of Agriculture and Consumer Services can learn more by visiting ncadfp.org.
We had to exit the home pretty quickly because of how quickly the water came in. It was just really vital to me whenever all the public service announcements were going out, that we needed to get our water tested.
We need to, get in the field and start helping people disinfect their water supplies.
It's really critical to their health to be able to have that safe drinking water.
They were reaching out to me to make sure that I knew that there were resources available.
NC Public Health. Everywhere, every day, everyone.
You don't need a 4-year degree to have a rewarding career that makes a difference in people's lives every day. As a public power line worker, you'll build and maintain a locally owned and operated electric system to keep the lights on in your community. 4 months in a community college program provides the training you need to begin your career as an apprentice line worker in public power. And being a local government employee in North Carolina comes with excellent benefits. To learn more about line worker and other public power careers, visit electricities.com.
Your background may not include agriculture, but 2 years at the Agricultural Institute will prepare you for a career in it. Whether you are a military veteran with an arsenal of skills, kickstarting your second career, or about to graduate high school, the Agricultural Institute at NC State University is the right place for you. Nurture your passion and find your career. Learn more about our program online by searching NC State Ag Institute. 2 years, 1 degree, endless possibilities.
The North Carolina Healthcare Association invites you to listen to this month's podcast, Conversations on the State of Healthcare. This month, we dive into a project that's making big waves in Charlotte and beyond. It's called The Pearl, a bold reimagining of how healthcare, education, and innovation come together. My guest, Hillary Crittenden, leads operations for The Pearl and has played an important role in its growth and development.
The Pearl is an innovation district. We brought together medical education, cutting-edge research, and really big and small players in the healthcare space who are advancing science in a really interesting way, all together in one place.
You can learn more and join our latest Conversations on the State of Healthcare wherever you listen to your favorite podcasts, and find out more by visiting nchealthcare.org.
This is Adam Gold.
Steve Bettman take all that time to walk out, then to see the pick, bro hug no less than 20 guys on his way up there. And then this draft house, they just move this wall like The Price is Right. I don't know.
It's a showcase showdown back there.
I know.
That would be great. So we should spin a wheel,
yeah,
right? Exactly.
The Adam Gold Show.
It's the Adam Gold Show. This song is like out of left field. It's great.
I know. I like to throw random ones out there.
That's definitely a random one. All right, well, tons to do. We're going to place bets in a little bit. I'm as hot as I was like 2 weeks ago. I've gone the other way. Maybe it's because I've decided to back my own wagers, and it hasn't gone well. But right now it's time to stretch.
Well, I didn't watch any of it, but I know we talk about it usually, the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame inductions. And last night, I think it was, or Saturday night.
Bad Company didn't want to sing or something. I don't know, it was weird.
No, it was weird. Yeah, it was, there were some odd things from the highlights that I saw. But if anyone missed it and you were curious, Bad Company, The White Stripes, Outkast, Cyndi Lauper, and Soundgarden R.I.P. Chris Cornell, were officially inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame on Saturday night, which, speaking of Soundgarden, they had Jim Carrey induct Soundgarden, which
Really?
I thought was interesting. I was like, this is kind of random, speaking of left field. However, I thought about this because Chris Cornell's daughter, she also performed kind of like a tribute, fell on Black Days, so that was really cool. But also, they had Taylor Momsen, who is the lead singer for Pretty Reckless. Well, she knows Jim Carrey because they were in The Grinch together. Fun little fact for anyone who didn't know that, she was Cindy Lou Who, this lead singer. Yeah.
Who was just more than 2.
It was exactly. So it was like a whole reunion, I guess, on the stage here. I thought that was pretty cool. But so they had that. That was awesome. Also, Jack White accepted the honor of White Stripes because Meg, the other half of that, has just been MIA for a lot of years. And then they also had other bands, like I mentioned, Outkast, Andre 3000, and Big Boy were all there. And Andre did not perform, but Big Boy, I guess, did. And let me see here. Yeah, Mick Fleetwood, he did. He inducted Bad Company. So.
Did he?
Yeah.
Did you see Mick Fleetwood also played, I think it was this weekend, with the University of Southern California marching band?
Oh, look at that.
They played Tusk, and he sat in on drums.
That's one of my favorites by them. I love Tusk.
It's a good song.
It
Great
is
song.
a good song. My band nerdness just loves it so
there you
much.
Go.
There were also tributes for Sly Stone and Brian Wilson, also another musical genius, along with Chris Cornell. So they did some cool stuff for them, which I did not watch, but it sounds like it was a good time that everyone had. Now, this seems a little weird. Okay. It's Tom Brady. Tom Brady's involved with this.
Okay.
So it's probably not too much of a stretch that it's a little weird with his avocado ice cream. But if you had the capability to clone one of your dogs, would you do it?
Oh, okay. I know this story. It's so disturbing to me.
I know.
No.
Right.
I wouldn't. And Harriet doesn't even count here.
Yeah.
Earl knows what's up.
Yeah.
Greatest dog ever.
Mm-hmm.
Earl knows what's up.
Yeah.
And the answer is no, I would not do that.
Yeah. Yeah, well, Tom Brady, I guess, has other things in mind because he decided to clone his dog, Lua, who died back in 2023.
What?
And, but the spirit lives on in Junie, I guess it's called, because he's working with some technology company.
He is an investor.
He is.
This is a marketing deal for Brady. This to me is disturbing on 100 different levels.
Yes. Yes.
A, we're adults.
Mm-hmm.
When the dog passes, and we know going in they're not going to live beyond our lifetimes.
Yeah, that's why they say dog years.
We get another, yes, they're family members. I get it. No, this is gross to me.
It's very weird.
But honestly, it's just a marketing deal for Brady.
Uh-huh.
So I'm not going to apply the full that's embarrassing, get over it.
Yeah.
Because it's a marketing deal.
Yeah, it's something, that's for sure. But if you're interested in looking into this weird thing, see, if I could clone Bit, that'd be different, maybe without the health problems. That would be great if he could be a little cheaper. Right. But no, that's weird. So he cloned his dog Lua, who is now Junie, and this company is called Colossal Biosciences. And he's an investor, so take that for what it's worth.
It really is. I read the story.
Yeah.
It's a marketing deal. That's all it is.
It is. It's a very, very weird one. But something that's not weird is when we make good bets.
Place your bets. Place your bets. Here we are. I bet you slice into the woods $100.
Gambling is illegal in Bushwood, sir, and I never slide.
Okay, you can owe me. I owe you one.
All right, I'd rather not talk about my the stuff that I said would happen.
Yes.
The fact that the Patriots are going to go to Tampa and beat the Buccaneers.
Mm-hmm.
They were plus money. I could have done that. Didn't. Never mind. I don't want to talk about it.
Well, tonight we have a football game. Philadelphia Eagles are going to be at Green Bay taking on the Packers, probably trying to bounce back from the Panthers somehow beating them. So give me an anytime touchdown score to be, you know what, we'll go with Josh Jacobs, but I'll say first touchdown score because an anytime one's minus 150. So we'll go first plus 440.
All right. You have Philadelphia? Is that what you just went touchdown?
That's just my touchdown one. I will pick Philadelphia.
But I'll pick the game first. So Green Bay is whatever 2-1. Both of their losses are against bad teams, and the tie is against a bad team. What would you consider Philadelphia? A good team?
Yeah. Well, they want to be.
Right. Huh. Interesting. Packers for no reason at home. Over 45.5 plus 228.
See, I was wondering that too because I keep going back and forth. I feel like the Eagles should win this game.
Right.
How many teams should win a game and then lose badly? Okay, but I'm still going to stick with my gut. I'll go with the Eagles, and I'll take the over 45.5 plus 255.
See, I'm bad at this. I thought if the Eagles win, I think it's under. Mm-hmm. I think if the Packers win, it's because their offense clicked.
Okay.
And I think we'll have some points. By the way, my anytime touchdown score though, Dallas Goedert plus 220 for Philadelphia.
Oh, well, there you go.
Yeah.
And I don't really like picking. This is like between two evils, the Islanders and the Devils tonight.
Yeah.
Can they both lose? They're not going to. So give me the Devils to win, and I will pick over 6.5 plus 230.
Yes. Let's do. We're going to take Florida in Vegas. Panthers for no reason plus 114 over 5.5 at plus 256. So, not that I'm rooting for Florida, because I'm not, but sometimes you root against your own interests.
Asheville to Wilmington, Boone to Durham, The Adam Gold Show on the North Carolina Sports Network.
The road to college football's national championship runs through 99.9 The Fan, the ACC, the SEC. The biggest matchups will be found here.
The snap is back. The pressure's on. Mendoza throws back in the end zone. Leaping grab. Touchdown! Wow. The Hoosiers take the lead with 36 seconds to go.
College football on The Fan is powered by Wake Med, Roofworks, and Wilkinson Chevrolet Cadillac GMC in Sanford.
Get ready for Youth Sports Day with your Duke Blue Devils. On Saturday, November 15th, the Blue Devils take on the Virginia Cavaliers at Brooks Field at Wallace Wade Stadium, and you're invited to be a part of the action. All youth athletes can enjoy an unforgettable pre-game on-field experience, plus big savings on tickets. Don't miss this chance to celebrate youth sports and cheer on Duke football. Visit goduke.com/youth sports or call 919-681-BLUE to get your tickets today. Duke football. Bleed blue.
Hey, it's Amanda here, and I'm back again with my friend Coach Pete. Coach, I read this on the internet. Maxing out your retirement accounts at 35 might not top your list of fun ways to spend money, especially with a long list of things you've had and wanted to buy.
Save a little bit now or save a lot later. The sooner you start, the more you can build up for retirement. But it's never too late. I really think that, yes, the sooner you start, the more compounding you're going to have on your side. And if you put it in the right place, the more growth you'll have. But then when we get towards retirement, 5 years out, we call that the financial red zone. We need to make sure some of our lump sums that we have built up need to be translated to how much lifetime income they could give us. Lifetime income means income forever. It means it takes the worry out of living retirement. It means you do what you want to do all the way through retirement.
Where I come from, that means your money's making money.
That's right. And then you're in control. So let's put you in control of your retirement. Call right now. No cost or obligation.
919-794-7900. 919-794-7900. Or text Amanda to 600-700.
Amanda Daughtry is a paid spokesperson. Investment advisory services offered by Capital Financial Advisory Group, a North Carolina registered investment advisor.
Catch every single moment.
The Dugout Tavern and Grill is an official member of the Canes Bar Network. With the NHL package, we broadcast all available games on the 16-foot high-definition video wall. Soak in the energy on our indoor-outdoor patio and bar, where you can see and hear the games. Plus, enjoy drink specials and a terrific menu. It's like you're on the ice, but better. The Dugout Tavern and Grill, Kelly Road in Apex, and thedugouttavern.com.
Stuck in a job that just isn't getting it done? Maybe it's time to go for IT. Whether you're just starting out, switching careers, or a military veteran ready for change, My Computer Career can help you launch a rewarding career in IT in months. No prior experience needed. Why spend years getting a traditional degree when your future in IT can start right now? Take the free career evaluation at mycomputercareer.edu today. Your most powerful upgrade? Your career. Go for it. Go for IT. Financial aid is available to those who qualify, including VA benefits.
At the V Foundation, V is for victory over cancer. V is for victory over giving up.
Don't give up. Don't ever give up.
Join our team in the fight against cancer at V.org.
Actual price will depend on product and subscription plan. Featured products are compounded drug products, which the FDA does not approve or verify for safety, effectiveness, or quality. Prescription products require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. See website for details, restrictions, and important safety information.
Want a boost in and out of the bedroom? Hims has you covered. Introducing a new 2-in-1 approach to level up your game. Tadalafil for better bedroom performance and zinc for testosterone support. Turn things all the way up and find affordable treatment options at up to 95% less than brand names at hims.com/joy. That's hims.com/joy.
I'm attorney Brian Ritchie. Getting hurt in a car wreck comes with all kinds of stress and frustration. But when you call me, I'll be on top of all of it. So all you need to worry about is getting better. If you've been injured in a car wreck, I'm on top of it. Contact us at richielaw.com.
Broadcasting live from the Lenovo Studios. WCMC HD1 Holly Springs. 99.9 The Fan. The Triangle Sports Leader.
Over to Vasar. Big man thought about the three, instead dumps it in the post to Wilson. His turnaround. Oh my goodness, jump shot is good. What a big time shot by Caleb Wilson. 52-46. Carolina down low to Vasar. Catches and dunks it over his head for two more. KU the other way. White has it tipped away by Wilson. Wilson gonna get a run out, and what a finish. The freshman announces his presence to the nation tonight.
It's the Adam Gold Show. I am Adam Gold, Victoria producing the program. That was Jones Angel, Tar Heels Sports, as Carolina beat Kansas. Just absolute second half drubbing of the Jayhawks. And I'll just say that Caleb Wilson, box office. Does it all, plays hard. Great player, looks like a great attitude. Carolina's going to be good.
Yeah.
Seth Trimble injury, broken forearm, fractured forearm. How does that happen in a practice?
I know.
Fellas practice hard. But they're really good. They're really good. And I have said this from the beginning. Man, I am looking forward to the 6 games that Carolina, Duke, and State play. That's right. The ACC didn't feel it important for NC State to play Carolina twice.
Yeah. I do have an update from, and this has nothing to do with sports, but last week, remember when I told you the story about the Kraft mac and cheese that made an apple
Well, we
cinnamon.
talked about it with Felder and Pat Welter.
Yes, exactly.
And Pat Welter, for some ungodly reason, thought that apple pie mac and cheese was okay.
No.
Which is just gross on 100 different levels.
One of our faves who likes to comment on YouTube, the stream.
Right.
I think it's Taylor. I think that's how you pronounce it. She said that she actually made it. And
it's too bad.
I know. And it went straight into the garbage. She said the apple part wasn't too bad, but the cinnamon totally killed it. I could see that. Like the cinnamon and cheese just is not. Woo!
All of it's bad.
Yeah. But thank
I
you
agree,
for trying
though, about
that
the apple.
for us. Yeah.
Somebody tried it.
That's fantastic.
That is the best.
One of these days I am, because of this. Felder and I had a conversation after the interview, as we do, and he's going to give me one of his recipes for mac and cheese, because I was like,
just make it.
Yeah.
Whatever he gives you,
just
make it.
Oh yeah, I'm going to.
I've been at Mike's house for meals.
I've heard good things.
Oh my gosh.
Mm-hmm.
My gosh.
Yes.
Football should just be a hobby for him.
Yeah, it's the second part.
Totally serious.
Yeah.
Should just be a hobby. All right, should we do Wall of Sound? Brian Geisinger
The Wall
is
of
going to join us
Sound
a little
is a
bit.
function of this studio. There's no doubt about it.
All right, fresh stuff from Dave Canales. Thanks to Dennis Cox for securing all of this. All right, remember when Ike Ekwonu, after the game, said to anybody who had a camera or a microphone that the week's preparation was not good? Here's Dave.
Really, we just have a standard for how we work, and when it's not up to standard, it's my job as the head coach to make sure they're aware of it. I made them aware of it, and I've been in the league for a while now, and I've seen sometimes you have a bad practice and you play great on Sunday. Sometimes there's a fantastic practice and you don't get the results you want. So I have to look at both things, but when there's a similarity and it leads to something, it gives me an opportunity to point to the fact that every single week is a championship opportunity. Every opponent requires all we have in our focus and our energy to getting prepared for those games.
I'm not sure anything was like, you can't accomplish anything there, but at least he did address it. Now, about the forward pass. There's a couple of interesting things out there we'll get to in a sec. Dave Canales on how to get more out of the passing game.
In general, I think it's a group effort. Calling more of them. Yes, let's get some more opportunities. Would love to have those explosive plays come alive. I will call them more when we have more success and those things come alive for us. But we have to keep working together. We have to keep taking those shots in practice to make sure we feel comfortable with them. And certainly, for Brad and I, just looking at the pass game, the coverage contours and what they're giving us, pretty simple when they're playing single high and everyone's at the line of scrimmage. We got to make the most of those opportunities when we have them, so that we are a balanced offense. And so it does play off of the run game, which we got going. But now let's get the pass game going so we really can be attacking and the offense that I visualize for us.
I will call them more when we are successful more. I'm just kind of paraphrasing there. Remember in the preseason when the idea was to get 10 or 12 plays out of the preseason game at Houston, and then they went 3 and out, and he declared they didn't deserve another series. That, to me, is the same thing here.
Yeah.
So let me point this out. I know that there are a lot of people who are out on Bryce, and you're fair. It's fair that you are. I'm not arguing on Bryce's behalf. So Josh Norris, who is a data analyst for one of the sports books, it's part of their job to use data to set lines. So through 10 weeks, either it's Bryce Young, Dave Canales, or both, being unwilling to throw downfield. Weeks 8 through 18 last year, Young in the Panthers passing game on 20-plus yard throws. This is how they ranked. 6th in attempt percentage. 2nd in adjusted completion percentage. 2nd in big-time throw rate. Only Justin Herbert was better. In the first 10 weeks this year, 31st in attempt percentage. Not doing it. 7th in adjusted completion. Still mildly successful, just not doing it. 5th in big-time throw rate. My question would be, why aren't you? Here is my theory as to why. They're afraid of mistakes. Fair. But now that they've gotten a little bit of a taste of winning games, they are trying to minimize the mistakes to win. Here's what I believe. Now, I'm not in any way suggesting that the Panthers shouldn't be trying to make the playoffs. But when you go into a game like Green Bay, it's fair to take the air out of the ball, slow the game down, and really lean into your bread and butter, which is Rico Dowdle, running the ball, and then throwing off of that. But ultimately, you got to play. And that's what the Panthers did not do this past week. This was an opportunity when the Saints loaded the box to stop Dowdle. You should have been throwing it all over the place. You don't have to sit back in the pocket for 3 seconds and let Bryce Young get killed. You can still get the ball out quickly. You can do play action and do a quick throw to a tight end or a wide receiver right over the middle and gain plenty of yards. The lack of creativity in this offense is stunning to me. Stunning. But maybe it isn't. I don't know. And what do I know anyway? Which a lot of people are already saying. All right, we have more Canales. Vashti Hurd, our friend, asked the question about Bryce.
Bryce comfortable taking those deep shots?
We'll have to just keep growing as a group and make sure that, we're the time on task, the trust factor, the me to you factor, all those things, grow.
Did he answer a different question?
Wow.
What did I miss?
Yeah.
I'm going to have to ask Dennis.
Right.
Was that the answer to Vashti's question? I'm going to text Vashti.
Right.
It's like, hey, was that really the answer to your question? Hey, look, that could be Canales saying right now that Bryce isn't, which is a different set of, that's a different conversation to have. But
as a Panther fan, though, how much time do you need to grow? Like, Bryce has been growing now for, I could go on a tangent. I get it, there's new guys, but yeah, and
are
not
you hoping for a
growing
growth spurt?
Vertically.
Because my son's in the same spot, man.
Yeah. When is this
Dad,
gonna happen?
When am I going to get over 5'10"?
Right.
I need to be over 5'10".
Mhm.
All right, one more. Apparently Dennis was in the locker room on Sunday after the loss, and Derek Brown was angry.
Very frustrating. You got to fix it. It's something we'll get in here. One thing we don't do, we're not going to point fingers. We didn't overlook them. We just didn't execute.
And then just moving past this, getting as a leader on this team, like what's the message to the guys?
We're going back to work tomorrow. I mean, it's not like it's any different than if we would have won, if we would have lost. Going back to work tomorrow. Tuesday, regroup, get your body right. Wednesday, we're back on the field.
There's so much playoff talk around this team. Does it feel like you guys are still right in it? Is that sort of the motivation? Is that just sort of keep you focused, right?
1-1 in division, and we're sitting at 500. So if we mess it up, it's on us. So we got to go out here and do what we got to do in order to make those things come true.
Yeah, he's mad.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
good.
Yeah.
I don't want you to be like Dave Canales, where you get up there at the podium and you're like, we just gotta look at the tape, learn, grow.
I think Dave's actually getting better. I mean, I'm trying to find some positives for Dave, but I think he's getting better at that. I don't think he's getting better at preparing his team, and that's that would be the downside. And for the people who we're gonna fire another coach and keep the same players, I didn't say that. Like if I were the Panthers, I'm not joking. I would like burn it to the ground and start over. I would tear it down to the studs and absolutely start over. I got no problem with doing that.
Yeah, they just got to commit to it. Their problem is they kind of do it. They kind of burn it to the ground. They kind of get rid of our star guys and McCaffrey and Burns.
So, or you can look at what you've got. McMillan, Coker. I'm going to leave Leggett out of this thing. They still don't have a very good tight end. I mean, Jatavian Sanders looks like just a guy. I don't know, just a guy. Offensive line is good. I don't know if the offensive line is great, but it's good. There are some pieces on defense that we like, obviously. So how close are they to, is it another draft and a good free agent class? And then if it's not Bryce, down the road, plug a quarterback in. Yeah, maybe that's the path. But it does seem like they're not in any way aligned in terms of getting better, getting good enough to where then you become a playoff team. Maybe we can have that conversation tomorrow about what is the future, the next 2 or 3 years of this franchise. Brian Geisinger is going to join us on the other side. We'll talk about the Heels, the Pack, the Blue Devils. Who knows what else? Next.
Because your fantasy football team needs all the help it can get, the Adam Gold Show on the North Carolina Sports Network.
We've got NFL tonight on 99.9 The Fan. Presented by Wake Med.
Showtime, prime time.
Your primetime matchup is an NFC battle.
Hot dog, man.
It's Philadelphia and Green Bay.
Dominate on 3, 1, 2, 3, dominate.
Pregame starts at 7.
Here we go.
Kickoff at 8:15.
Put up or shut up time.
On the Triangle's home for the NFL, 99.9 The Fan.
Monday night, you gotta feel it.
Hey, it's Adam Gold from my friend Gordon Miller. Miller Lending, Kildare Farm Road in Cary. The man who invented the no closing cost mortgage. The man who invented your ability to save thousands of dollars when you buy a house or when you refinance. Miller Lending. This is the way to go. Don't have all of the closing costs rolled into the loan amount, as happens in so many other places. Don't fall for the other tricks and shell games you see everywhere. Go to Miller Lending, the original no closing cost mortgage, and save thousands. Let's take timing out of the equation. Let's say the rates are a little higher right now than they will be in a year. Get your mortgage. You don't delay buying a house. You don't delay the American dream. And then, when the rates come down, you refinance, free of charge, lower your monthly payment, and save thousands and then hundreds. Miller Lending on Kildare Farm Road in Cary. An equal housing lender, NMLS ID 250-2146.
Holiday scratch-offs for the gifted. Let some dream just for a bit.
Ski trip, cruise ship, sports car, pristine yard, courtside seats, fancy meats, holiday scratch-offs can't be beat.
Give the gift of what if from the North Carolina Education Lottery. Must be 18 to play. Approximate overall odds of winning range from 1 in 3.19 to 9.95. Problem gambling helpline 877-718-5543.
It is I, Juan Carlos Santiago del Santiago, the coolest man in the world. Yes, I am back in Raleigh. Do I go downtown with so many places to party? No, I go to the Sharky's place. The good food, the fine drinks, the coldest of beers, and of course, the many, many beautiful people. I always hang at the Sharky's place, the coolest bar in the world, because, well, it was built for me. Juan Carlos Santiago del Santiago, the coolest man in the world. The Sharky's place, 8800 de Raleigh Road by the Shelley Station.
Tim Donnelly here for Bailey's Fine Jewelry. Fox & Bailey, the watch shop located inside their Village District location, has the hottest lineup in town. Pre-owned Rolex, Omega, Blancpain, Glashütte Original, Norcane, and more. And we mention those brands for this reason. They aren't just watches. They're icons. They're Hall of Famers. Collector-level pieces with serious pedigree made to turn heads and stand the test of time. Now, clearly, you're listening to 99.9 The Fan, which means you're into sports. Fox & Bailey, they have timepieces built for it all. Not just a tuxedo, flashy, but when you're diving, racing, maybe a pilot's watch if you're doing some flying. Whatever your game, they've got a watch that fits the moment and the mindset. Don't forget, with anniversaries, big milestones ahead, that Bailey's Fine Jewelry is your go-to for unforgettable gifts. Their selection of fine and designer jewelry is unmatched. Think timeless, thoughtful, and guaranteed to impress. All at Bailey's Fine Jewelry in the Fox & Bailey Watch Shop.
Okay, I have to tell you, I was just looking on eBay where I go for all kinds of things I love, and there it was.
That hologram trading card. One of the rarest, the last one I needed for my set. Shiny like the
designer handbag of my dreams. One of a kind. eBay had it, and now everyone's asking, ooh, where'd you get your
windshield wipers? eBay has all the parts that fit my car. No more annoying, just beautiful.
Millions of finds, each with a story. eBay. Things people love.
Gold. Gold.
Is he married to a person or just himself? Because I feel like that's very Aaron Rodgery of him to have the twist in there.
It's a very good question.
So, I don't know. We still don't know if it's a person.
Would he get down on one knee to ask himself over an ayahuasca.
Yes.
The Adam Gold Show.
It's the Adam Gold Show. I am Adam Gold. Victoria on the ones and twos. I'm bummed that I missed the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame induction ceremonies. Those are always incredible shows. Incredible. Yeah. I know there were some issues with Bad Company not wanting to perform. Apparently, they don't get along as a band.
They think they're bad company.
Yeah, they yeah, with each other. Very good. Very good. Very nice.
Sorry.
Nothing to apologize for. It's welcome. I get eye rolls from my kid all the time from when I say dumb things. Well, that was not dumb when I do it. All right, let's get to some college basketball. Our guy, Brian Geisinger, split the action on Substack and everywhere else. You can follow him on Twitter or Blue Sky and get all his stuff, Pack Pride everywhere. Let's start with the Tar Heels and their win over Kansas, or just in general. We knew Caleb Wilson was the real thing. He looks better than that to me. And, I mean, he looks like he does everything well, including fine teammates with the ball. What jumps out to you about number 8?
A lot, but I would really start with when you're talking Caleb Wilson with the defense, which,
really?
You know, he really does look special on that end. Like there's you know, like I don't know how much you watch of the Minnesota Timberwolves, but like a Jaden McDaniel style, right, you know, wing defender here, just guard every position, switch, you know, contest threes, you know, create steals, block shots, rotate, be in all the right spots, just sort of like a game wrecker, you know, from the wing defensively. And then the film that I saw of Wilson before he got to UNC, I think the thing that sort of jumped out most, along with the defense, obviously was the passing, and sort of like doing it in a variety of fashion, you know, connecting in the half court, pushing in transition, finding guys. And I mean, through 2 games, it's been, you know, really good. 7 assists to 3 turnovers. He again, with that size, speed, athleticism, and passing vision. That's why, you know, among the many reasons why he's such a tantalizing prospect, you know, probably pretty safely in the top 5 for the 2026 draft. So he's been incredible. In him being this good, I think I was coming into the season pretty high on UNC, maybe a little higher than the consensus, and this sort of has me thinking they might have like a, you know, more likely to hit one of these sort of like outer band, you know, expectations for them. And yeah, Wilson, unbelievable.
All right, so I do want to get to the other 2 ACC schools here in a second, but I want to drill down a little bit more on UNC. I feel like I've got a little bit more of a handle on what Duke is. My worry about the Tar Heels isn't about Wilson. It's not about Vesar. It's not about Stevenson. I think they're going to be fine, you know, around the basket in terms of size. My question is really about, are their guards good enough? We have the injury to Seth Trimble. To me, Trimble is, you know, leadership and defense and all of that, but he's really kind of a third guard to me if you are a great team. Mm-hmm. Is Carolina good enough in the backcourt to take advantage of all of their other weapons?
I think so. You know, I think Evans is really good. Luka's, you know, really, really talented. The ball handler with that size who can shoot. So to me, Trimble sort of was their third guard coming into this season. Gold, I feel like we've talked about him numerous times over many years now. And like for me, I guess I stopped worrying about, will Seth Trimble develop the 3? And just started sort of leaning into the stuff that he does so well.
Right.
The transition, the defense, the athleticism, the finishing. Like, he's such a nice complementary piece and has been for, I mean, this is year 4 for him in the league, but year 3 of him being like a real, like, you know, an impact guy for UNC. And one of the reasons why I was so bullish on the addition of a guy like Vazar for them this season was because he's a 5 that could step away,
and
you could pick and pop with him, and you could initiate 5 out. And obviously, like, that's not all he does. Vazar can dive, and I think he's been very good rolling to the rim so far this season. But just sort of like what his ability to lift the defense, what that could do for a guy like Trimble who can cut and slash and try to get downhill. I still think there's a chance that UNC could have some spacing concerns just with the Trimble, Wilson, Stevenson group, needing to play a lot. I think those lineups are going to be awesome for them this season. I just think in certain matchups it could occasionally be tough. And then, I don't know, I feel weird saying this about a UNC team that's got good out-of-conference opponents on the schedule, Kentucky, Michigan State. But outside of those two teams, maybe Ohio State, like, this schedule non-con is not too bad for UNC, right? So it's like, Seth Trimble, it's a bummer, feel real bad for him, but rest up, get healthy. There's like a long season ahead.
Yeah.
And if this guy could be ready to roll come conference play, there's probably just 3 games, where his presence would maybe really be felt as a loss. And I think UNC has enough pieces to sort of paper things over with the loss of Seth.
Yeah, look, it's fun. I also don't think that was necessarily a vintage Kansas team that we saw on Friday. But it's Kansas. Even a down Kansas team is still a pretty good squad. Let me go
with the number 1 pick on its roster too. In Darren Peterson.
And he was good for the most part, right?
Yeah.
I thought he tried to do a lot on his own. And that didn't necessarily work out. But Carolina was super impressive after halftime. All right, to the Wolfpack. And it's hard to tell through 2 games against opponents that they're obviously going to beat. But boy, this team looks like it has a ton of pieces. So run through what you like the most about the Wolfpack, and then we'll work from there.
I still think it's worth stopping for a second and realizing that, they steamrolled UAB, and that was a team that I agree they definitely should have won. But, that is a top 100 team. And a year ago, I don't think we would have been saying, oh, that's a gimme for State. You know what I mean? They're just going to play a B-minus game and win by 24 points against the top 100. They just didn't have the talent upgrades on this roster have been pretty superb. Darren Williams has been awesome to start the season, shot the ball well. His playmaking has been outstanding. He's not turned the ball over. Quadir Copeland, I think he's sort of you got to live with some of the the chaos that he brings, and that can produce some turnovers and some slip-ups defensively, but just his juice, his playmaking, his ability to hit ahead and to also slash and get to the rim. And he's hit his 3 so far this season. He's been solid. I thought in the the closing stretches of the UAB game, I thought the Trey Holloman, Van Allen Lubin pick and roll got going for them. And then that was nice to see Lubin have some contributions. I feel better about their center rotation than I did heading into the season, and that's in part because Musa Sagnia has been. Forgive me if I'm mispronouncing his name. I've watched State's first 2 games on mute, so I'm not sure how to say some of the names. But he's been terrific, and he looks like a real player. And I think maybe he's even sort of outperformed Lubin in some cases, but. They've just got 40 minutes a night with those 2 guys who can run and jump and switch. State's obviously switching everything defensively. I think that comes with some occasional issues, but for the most part can be real dangerous and create turnovers and force teams to play late into the clock. And then the last thing, just the excitement of seeing Matthew Abel and Paul McNeil Jr., running around. These 2 guys who can sort of play without the ball. Both guys can shoot big-time range. State having these 2, 6'5" guards with NBA potential that can float around and drill threes and play without the ball is a fun angle to this roster that has a lot of playmaking juice because of Holloman, Copeland, and Williams.
Yeah, and they're also big. They can put a huge lineup out there.
Yeah, they can. Yes, they can. You've seen. They showed a graphic during the UAB game. Just they've got 5 or 6 guys on the roster that have wingspans of 7 feet or more. That's a lot. Those guys can blanket the court, and that's including some guys we didn't talk about. Really, like Terrence Arsenault, Jerry Bang, who are guys that were contributors at Houston and FSU last season. So they're deep. They're taking a ton of threes so far this season. 56% of their shots have been from beyond the arc. They were maybe like a little Chuck happy against Central in the first game. And I would just like to say, just since we're talking locally, look, I've seen Central play 2 games so far this season because I watched them against Virginia and NC State.
Right.
They got blown out in both those games, although they were competitive at UVA. Just been a lot of fun watching Coach Moten in his offense. Like, just always a pleasant experience. Yeah, I know it's tough for those guys in non-conference, but
right.
I enjoyed getting to see Central play some this season too. I wanted to give those guys a quick shout out.
Yeah, and maybe when you play these games, and there's a method to the madness, right? You play these games to get you ready for what your league will present, and maybe it'll translate because it does look. I mean, I know they got trucked by the Wolfpack, but I thought there were some good players. I thought Central has some good players.
They held their own at times at UVA. That's a really good Virginia team. I've liked what I've seen from them so far this season as well.
All right, very quickly. We can get caught up in the box score and all that, but Cam Boozer, and I know Caden Boozer also had a good game against Western Carolina, but it is Western. Mm-hmm. Cam Boozer, he seems good. What are your thoughts?
Yeah. He's been unbelievable so far with everything I've seen from him this season, and obviously, he had kind of a tough go of things especially at the first half against Texas.
Yeah, nothing, zero.
I thought he made a ton of plays down the stretch in that game, and then obviously he was just majestic against 4 3-pointers. He hit from range. I really like with him when he does the sort of it's almost like Karl Anthony Towns style, like catch and go drives. When he's trailing on a secondary break situation, he'll catch, jab, drive the other way. And the passing is super, super fun with him too. Obviously the hit ahead and the outlet passes in transition, but his ability to Malik Brown can do this as well too. But those two guys, with their ability to sort of facilitate from along the perimeter and skip it and flip sides of the court and pick out shooters and just get Duke going into different progressions and reads of their offense. Really special stuff from Cam Boozer so far. I mean, he and AJ DeBance at BYU and Peterson, who we just mentioned at Kansas, those guys at Caleb Wilson at UNC, those 4 guys have been, pretty incredible to start the season. This looks like a pretty amazing draft class, and Boozer statistically is just going to have a crazy impactful season. That's obvious.
Oh man, Duke's got a ton of weapons, so we'll. But he is definitely option 1. There is no doubt. I want to see a little bit more consistency from Isaiah Evans, who had all the points in game 1 and none of the points basically in game 2.
Yeah, deep goose egg against Western Carolina.
Hey, but look, it's maybe he's a bright lights kind of guy. There's a ton of bright lights games for the Blue Devils coming up. Brian Geisinger, you can follow him on Twitter at @bgeis_bird. Also on Blue Sky at @bgeisinger. It's all good, but you should check out the Substack Split the Action. Everywhere else you can find Brian's stuff on his socials. Thank you, my friend. I'll talk to you very soon.
Yeah, take care. You guys have a nice day.
You got it. Good, nice, doesn't matter either way. We'll take a break. We'll come back. We'll talk about the Panthers. I want to answer a question from Twitter, and then we'll talk about the Panthers with Will Brinson. Next.
His Zamboni is bigger than yours. The Adam Gold Show on the North Carolina Sports Network.
North Carolina ranks second in the nation in potential agricultural land lost by the year 2040. The NC Forever Farms program supports the preservation of family farms through permanent agricultural conservation easements and has received a record number of applications for 3 straight years. Landowners interested in preserving their working farm through the Farmland Preservation Division of the North Carolina Department of Agriculture and Consumer Services can learn more by visiting ncadfp.org.
When people put their feet under a table, it means more than just consuming food. Getting the restaurant back open, that meant to the community a lot of normalcy. The public health department checked the wells so that we knew where we could get water that was able to be used.
And it was neighbor helping neighbor, and I'm so proud to work in this little small county.
NC Public Health. Everywhere, every day, everyone.
You don't need a 4-year degree to have a rewarding career that makes a difference in people's lives every day. As a public power line worker, you'll build and maintain a locally owned and operated electric system to keep the lights on in your community. 4 months in a community college program provides the training you need to begin your career as an apprentice line worker in public power. And being a local government employee in North Carolina comes with excellent benefits. To learn more about line worker and other public power careers, visit electricities.com.
From the food we eat to the clothes we wear, agriculture touches every corner of our daily lives. I'm Lee Ivey, Director of the Agricultural Institute at NC State University. With the world's population growing, we need people equipped and trained to meet the needs of our future. In our program, we rise to meet that challenge every day, and our students are engaged and invested. Learn more about our program online by searching NC State Ag Institute. 2 years, 1 degree, endless possibilities.
The North Carolina Healthcare Association invites you to listen to this month's podcast, Conversations on the State of Healthcare. This month, we dive into a project that's making big waves in Charlotte and beyond. It's called The Pearl, a bold reimagining of how healthcare, education, and innovation come together. My guest, Hillary Crittenden, leads operations for The Pearl and has played an important role in its growth and development.
The Pearl is an innovation district. We brought together medical education, cutting-edge research, and really big and small players in the healthcare space who are advancing science in a really interesting way, all together in one place.
You can learn more and join our latest Conversations on the State of Healthcare wherever you listen to your favorite podcasts. And find out more by visiting nchealthcare.org.
At North Carolina Farm Bureau Insurance, you're more than a policy, you're family. With offices in every county, we're close by when it matters most. Our local agents customize coverage to fit your life. And our award-winning claims team delivers fast, quality repairs. It's no surprise Forbes ranked us the #1 auto insurer in America. North Carolina Farm Bureau Insurance. Helping you is what we do best.
Did you know Atlantic hurricane season runs through November? From gathering necessary supplies to planning an evacuation route, now is the time to make sure you and your family are prepared. And if a storm damages our electric system, local public power providers are ready to respond and restore power quickly and safely. As a public power customer, you benefit from having an electricity provider that restores power faster than other providers do. Visit electricities.com for storm preparation tips and resources.
This is Adam Gold.
See Bettman take all that time to walk out, then to see the pick bro hug no less than 20 guys on his way up there. And then this draft house, they just moved this wall like The Price is Right. I don't know.
It's a showcase showdown back there.
I know.
That would be great. So we should spin a wheel,
yeah,
right? Exactly.
The Adam Gold Show.
It's the Adam Gold Show. I'm Adam Gold. Victoria producing the program. 2 things I want to get to before we talk Panthers again, and we'll answer a question that I got on my Twitter feed.
Oh, and one thing before that,
Okay.
our YouTube stream, Brandon from the High Country said it's already snowing up there.
Really?
Yes.
Well, I was just about to talk about something regarding the High
nice.
Country. Yeah, well, I don't know if you caught any of the end of the Bears-Giants game yesterday.
Yes, it was
snowing at Soldier Field. That was cool.
I like football games in the snow.
I agree.
Mm-hmm.
I agree. As a kid, as soon as it started to snow, all right, do we have enough? Let's go. We got 4, 2 on 2.
It's fine.
Who cares? Like we're all about playing in the snow.
We don't have a football. Grab a beach ball.
Something, man. Football in the snow is an absolute must. They just announced the PGA Tour will be playing an actual PGA Tour event in Asheville starting next September. Now, it's in the fall series. It's not in the the FedEx Cup proper. It's not during the competitive top-level season, but the fall is a way in. It's a qualifying tour, so this is a big deal. They have not. I can't remember the last time they played a PGA Tour event in the mountains of North Carolina. Now they have played kind of in the foothills. I think it was at Rock Barn, an event on the Champions Tour, PGA Tour Champions, which is the senior tour, the older guys. But I don't even know if they play that anymore. But this is very cool. So the Cliffs at Walnut Cove is hosting. My only question is, the golf course is 7,167 yards. That's really small at altitude.
Oh.
Now, it's probably not, it's not a mile in the air.
Right.
But, and I know it's sort of in the valley, but it's still in Asheville. So probably 3,000 feet, my guess, roughly. I think it's going to be a pitch and putt for these guys. Anyway, cool that they're getting the event. And I believe the first one is scheduled for, I want to get the dates if I can, September 17th through the 20th. So that looks like it's before the President's Cup. Might be the week before the President's Cup. So anyway, congratulations to the good folk up there in Asheville, one of my absolute favorite places on earth. Real quick, before I get to football. Hurricanes, not for the first time all year, but for the first time pretty much all game for all year against a good opponent, looked like the Hurricanes. And they have won plenty of games. They are 11-4-0. And frankly, in some of the losses, they were right there to get something out of the game that they didn't. Okay, they got 11 wins. I ain't complaining at all. When you think Jacob Slavin has not played since October 11th. What is today's date? The 10th? He's not playing tomorrow when they host the Capitals. And I don't think we're going to see him this week at all. And my guess is, and again, I have zero inside information on this. My hunch, we are probably at least 2 weeks away from potentially seeing him back on the ice. Shane Gostisbehere, I have no clue. But it was a different injury the second time than it was the first time. Don't know if that's good or not. No Slavin, no Gostisbehere. Jalen Chatfield's got a concussion. That much we know. The fact that they are 11-4, and for a good chunk of time they missed Keandre Miller, is amazing to me. Granted, hasn't always been good. They've won games without being at their best. But last night was the first time that it looked totally representative of the Carolina Hurricanes, straight down to the, wow, they should have gotten like 4 goals in that period and they got 1. Like, that's part of the joke, but it's part of the Hurricanes. 0 for 4 on breakaways, and they hit 3 posts that those didn't necessarily overlap. Now, 2 of the breakaways hit posts. William Carrier and Sean Walker each had breakaways, each hit the post in the same spot, after Jackson Blake had hit the post in the exact same spot. But they had 2 more breakaways in the period. They had 4 breakaways in the first 10 minutes of the third period. I thought it was a joke. I thought it was like, wait a second. Are you guys going to keep doing this and not scoring? Because maybe it's just not to be tonight. And then Sean Walker snuck one in from distance, made it 4-3, and the Hurricanes just absolutely owned the third period. It was inevitable they were going to win that game the way they were playing. Taylor Hall tapped in a rebound, and then after a great Nick Ehlers steal, Keandre Miller with a really deceptive pass to Logan Stankoven for what ultimately was a kind of easy goal, but still, the 2 plays that were made leading up to the goal made the goal easy. So Carolina wins at 5-4 in spite of the fact that Brandon Bussey wasn't very good yesterday. He just wasn't. I have no doubts that he's a good goalie, but he wasn't good yesterday. We've seen Freddie not be good and win games. We've seen Pyotr Kochetkov not be good and win games. But last night was the first time they looked like the Hurricanes. That is encouraging. All right, let me get to tomorrow night, by the way, against the Washington Capitals. To Gregory on Twitter, because we had just talked about, like, if it were me, I would consider tearing it down to the studs and building up. But then I did say, look, you do have some good young pieces. And the pieces of, like, Derek Brown, J.C. Horn, and I'm not talking about some of these rookies yet, but Horn and Brown isn't yet onto his next contract, or is he? Has he signed the new contract? I don't believe he is, but I believe he's due for it. And on the offensive line, blah, blah, blah. And you've got Dowdle, and you've got Tedero and McMillan. And Gregory says, you literally just explained why they shouldn't burn it down. They are 500. They have good young pieces. The defense is solid. They just need better quarterback play. All right. That is wrong. This is not a team. Yes, they are 500. No, they're not good. This is not a team that is just a quarterback away. And here's the point. Maybe a better quarterback would get them closer. But they are probably 2, maybe a third year from being, like, if they had made more progress this year, and I think they have made some progress defensively, but a lot of it is just patchwork. Like, who's the other defensive lineman, young defensive lineman, that you take going forward other than Derek Brown? We like Scouton on one edge. You like Tevitt was am I drawing a blank on the two linebackers inside? They're good. I don't think they're awesome, but they're good, right? We like J.C. Horn. They need more pieces. And my point is that because of the timing of all of this, I'm just not sure it's going to time out in their favor. By the time they get this area good, the other area is not. So I would tear it down. And look, Derek Brown is not a Hall of Famer. I'm not saying he's not great. I love Derek Brown. I wouldn't want to trade him. But depending on what I could get, look, the Jets didn't want to trade Quinnen Williams, but they did. They didn't want to trade Sauce Gardner, but they did. Because they're trying to get really that much better. All right. Let me get to Will Brinson, senior NFL writer, CBSSports.com. Let me ask you this. I've already talked a lot about the Panthers, but I am curious your thoughts about what we saw, especially offensively.
Yeah, I mean, I think I said last week, didn't I, that the Saints might be trouble just because they're going to throw a bunch of junk offense. And,
yeah,
they didn't totally do that. I mean, we got 7 Taysom Hill carries. A pass.
Those were largely ineffective.
Yeah, I mean, that junk offense didn't work. What did work was Tyler Shuck, like the 33-year-old, 15-year college quarterback steps in and plays pretty well against Carolina's defense.
Yeah.
The offense there for Carolina. You're at home. You're 5-4. You've got a chance to at least put yourself into the actual playoff discussion.
Yeah, even if you're not good, right? Then they're not good. Even if they're not good, you had a chance to fake it for one more week.
Right. At least keep the John Daly, Tiger Woods, Kansas City Chief memes alive for one more week, right? I mean, and now it's pretty hard to find a path. I think you can make the case. Carolina's still 5-5. They're just, they're not right. They're not dead in the division. And I guess you could make the argument that beating the Packers and losing to the Saints is sort of a washout, but that win over the Packers, I think even, it's the opposite. It really emphasized the need to beat the Saints because, as we pointed out, you had the 49ers on the road left on your schedule. You have the Rams at home left on your schedule, and the Rams look like one of the 3 best teams in football. You have the Seahawks left under schedule at home, and the Seahawks look like one of the 3 best teams in football. You got to go to New Orleans as well after your Week 14 bye. You have the Falcons this week, and it's on the road. They're going to want some revenge. I think they've been an up-and-down team. You don't know what's going to happen. And then the Bucs twice. So, like, you still control your own destiny to a degree in the division because you have Tampa. But what you wanted to be was in a position where if you lost to Tampa or got swept by Tampa or got swept by those NFC West teams, like, you weren't totally dead. And now if that happens, if the Panthers are overpowered by teams that are better than them, then Carolina just doesn't have a shot. They're going to finish in the middle of the pack and get an okay draft pick and not really have ever scared the playoffs. So it's kind of worst case, honestly. I mean, yeah, everybody will probably keep their jobs, but like I don't know. It's like worst case scenario, I think, in the NFL to be a team that's not good enough to even have a chance at the playoffs, but not bad enough to chase that number 1 pick.
Will Brinson, senior NFL writer, CBSSports.com. He sorts the Sunday pile. You know, it's funny. For years, I was labeled as the guy who never would fire a coach. Like Herb Sendek's good coach. Whatever. I'm not going to get into I'm not going to relitigate all of those things. There are probably times I was wrong. But Dave Canales does nothing for me. Nothing at all for me. And, like, there are times where, like, I praised him. I thought last week the way they approached the Packers game was brilliant. Exactly the way you should approach the game. We're gonna suck the fun out of the sport. We're going to slow it down because we're not as good as you. So we are going to limit possessions, try to frustrate you, and it worked. The Packers played an immature game, and the Panthers took advantage of it and put themselves in a position with these 2 weeks back-to-back. Saints at home, Falcons on the road, who are a mess who could lose to anybody, where you could win these 2 games and suddenly, out of nowhere, be 7-4 and be staring at, Mike, we might be able to do this. But they took the exact same approach. Like, why are they going slow against a team that they are maybe not significantly better in personnel because the Panthers don't have great personnel, but you're certainly not worse than the Saints. So why were you approaching the game exactly the same way? When your offense is stagnant after the first drive, do we not pick up the pace? Are we allergic to tempo, to no huddle? What was Bryce Young good at last year? He was good at the 2-minute drill, especially in the fourth quarter. Did we even attempt that? It is the worst game planning. I credit Dave Canales for basically calling himself out on it after the game because he did. Like, we have to have a better option. They had no options. Ike Ekwonu said the preparation for this week wasn't good. That's damning. That's damning to this coaching staff.
Well, and I think, too, you talk about the juxtaposition of the Packers game and the Saints game. If you're a 13.5-point underdog on the road against what is allegedly a good football team, you want to drag it down into the muck and to minimize their possessions, to make them be perfect, to steal some scores. When you're a 5.5-point home favorite, you have to realize that the other team wants to do that to you.
Yeah.
Like, you are on the other side of the coin. So you cannot play the same game. And I think, we saw this with the job that Baker Mayfield's success in Tampa is what got Dave Canales hired as Panthers head coach. And it's what got Liam Cohen hired as Jaguars head coach. And, maybe we should start thinking that it's Baker Mayfield and not those coaches, because even with Tampa Bay, they would just run Rachaad White into the line a bunch, and then Baker would have to come up with some magic. And, the team was good offensively enough to make the playoffs. Dave Canales gets some credit. He leaves. And really the offense got better after he left. So, like, I think David Tepper, it behooves him to be patient. But I don't think that Dave Canales is the type of coach that's going to operate any sort of offense or clearly any sort of game plan that's going to take you from middling team to next level team. And you're right. The Panthers don't have the personnel to be some dangerous playoff squad. It feels like, 7 and 9 or 7 and 10, 8 and 9, something like that is best case scenario for Carolina.
Yeah. 8 and 9 is probably best case scenario. But as you said, and this is where, I was kind of enjoying for Victoria as a Panthers fan. I want her to enjoy, to have some hope when we head, around Thanksgiving to still be, at least in terms of the math, still in a playoff hunt. To see the Panthers on the board in the hunt is cool for Panthers fans who we speak to. I mean, probably 40% of our audience are Panthers fans. And then, we're scattered all over the other place.
Got a bunch of Commies fans in Eastern North Carolina.
Yeah, we do. We probably have a whole bunch of Cowboys and Steelers fans. We'll get to the Steelers in a second. But it's just so disappointing. Also, for the people who are hating on Bryce, and I'm not even going to pretend that this was a great Bryce Young performance. It was a bad one. But, like I said in the opener, when Tedero and McMillan went up with one hand for a touchdown pass, he could have gotten with two. Xavier Legette, you got to do better. It was a horrible play call on 4th and 3 because really what they needed at that point, it might have been still 10-7. You just needed a first down. You didn't need a touchdown. You just needed a first down. Now, the pass was good. Could have been caught by Xavier Legette. But he's not strong enough at this point. Whether he wasn't prepared to fight through defense, looked like he might have been held, but still, you got to be stronger. That was a good throw. Bryce doesn't get credit for it from the dopes on Twitter, but I don't really care about them. But that was a good throw. They didn't take advantage of it, but the play call was terrible, and they didn't. I don't think they respected the game the way they needed to.
Exactly, and I think that's like part of the problem is they started kind of sniffing their own toots, if you will, right? Like,
absolutely.
I mean, look at us, we're 5-4. We're a 5.5 point favorite at home. It's like you can't take any. Again, the Packers took a game lightly against Carolina in Week 9, and it cost them a win against a questionable football team. The Panthers, you cannot, if you're the Carolina Panthers, even contemplate once over the course of a season taking a game lightly. You're not good enough to take a game lightly. Every week needs to be maximum effort, maximum preparation. If you get caught looking ahead as the Carolina Panthers at 5-4, that is really damning on the leadership of that football team.
According to Derek Brown, they were not looking ahead, but so we have no way of knowing that. We always make these like sweeping. They took them lightly, whatever. But within the course of a game, you can tell whether or not a team has an adjustment to go to. And whether or not the Panthers had one, we won't know. But they clearly chose not to go to it if they had one. Because if you watch that game in the fourth quarter, it looked a lot like the first quarter to me in terms of their approach. And that was disappointing. Victoria, thank you very much. We'll see everybody tomorrow. It's going to be fun. Canes play.
Because your fantasy football team needs all the help it can get, the Adam Gold Show on the North Carolina Sports Network.
Adam.
I'm Adam Gold, and I'm there.
Tim. I'm Tim Donnelly, and I'm there. Dennis.
I'm Dennis Cox, and I'm there.
Victoria.
I'm Victoria Bodenecker, and I'm there.
Paul.
I'm Paul Eichander, and I'm there too.
You'll find them all here on the brand new 99.9 The Fan app. To work